Josephine Lopasi.
Sige.
Sir Nel, yung account kay it's not existing. Josephine Lopasi, I've already created your category, San Carlos ES, but I cannot look up your username. So please check if you really have created your account via depedbohol.net. But your school is already up, so it's just waiting for the manager actually. All right. Murag gamay pa jud katagdaan. It's here already. San Isidro. Okay. Pilar, Bagong Bayan. May I know what's the issue of the others nga wala pa ka-create or wala pa naka-create sa SY 2020 nga subcategory under their schools? Balog lang ko, Grace, so that ma-address na to. Kaya kung di mo ma-address, di mo ka-proceed. Yes, ma'am,
Sir
Deb.
Renat, ang katawasan lagi sir kay wa mo gawas. Diha naman to.
Wala man po, imo mo itong nakuan na kung man mo natarong og hierarchy kada school kay lain-lain man mga kategory akong i-delete.
I-delete day kuno day, hoy, balik, i-delete ni sir.
Wala man ko'y
di
katagbawan,
man.
ma'am. Dapat iya pa nang isuwat. Wa ko ka-receive og sa to katagbawan. Wa ko ka-receive ana sa Facebook.
Kapasan itong 1185
Wala na sa
70.
Facebook, ma'am.
Wala
Again,
po
okay, ako klarohon. Ayaw mo sig pangita og school nga wala ninyo gi-request sa Facebook because again, I'm only basing what you have requested via Facebook. So do not expect me to create something that is not requested. So please go back to the link katong tinyurl.com about accounts. Okay, that's my basis. Okay, I do not know you all, so I'm only basing it on kung unsa nyo gipang submit. So if you do not submit, do not expect me to be able to create that account for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste the link again so that you can submit, no? You submit your information. But from there, you can go ahead and create your schools and then assign you as administrators or managers. All right. So, tanaw na to bali kung kinsa paning wala pa. Maradaghan-daghan pa dyan ang wala pa. Palihog ko. Del Pilar, Nanay Del Pilar. Nanay Lumbay, Nanay Katagdaan, San Isidro. May I know what's the issue from Pilar, Ilaud, from Buenos Suerte, Lundag, Bayong, Kansungay, San Vicente, San Isidro, Pamaksalan, and San Carlos. Ma'am Deb, unsa to'y kuan, Ma'am Deb? Unsa to'y nga si kaduha sa school yung ipakita kanina?
Kagawasan sir og Aurora.
Ma'am,
Inaguban.
palaw lang ko type sa kuan, ma'am, sa chat, ma'am, para mo copy paste na lang po, kay masayot niya ang ID. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, i-apply na lang po, ma'am, kay sa manager, ma'am. Kaya para ma-add
okay, sir. Natwa man si Ronil good agto. Chato ikuwang Aurora.
Okay. Sige. Kaya naman nakasugod, no? I know nga makaapas naman na silang uban. Sayo naman lang kayo niinig sunod kay ang sunod kay mag-create naman sila og courses. So, being that you're able to create your categories already, so ibutang ta, we're starting the school year. So that's the reason why we created SY 2020, 2021 under our school. Now, if we no longer need further categories, meaning okay na taan na, dili na kaganahan magbutang og senior high or junior high or any categories for that matter, and I suggest nga wala na gyud actually kay nga no, it will just kuan kanang no maglibog na no ka kada categories and ka next year mag-create of category nga the same, di ba? So, we'll just I'm gonna go ahead and just share the practice of San Agustin National High School and also the practice of UPOU. So the practice is that for every school year, we'll create a category. So for this year, we've created SY 2020, 2021, and then under that, we'll already go ahead and create the courses. Now, what's the difference of a category from a course? Category, from the name itself, is just a category. You're categorizing your content. Now, if we talk about courses, the courses are the contents already, and these are otherwise known as the virtual classes. Okay. Muna na siya ang gitawag na to nga virtual classes. Now, if we talk about virtual classes, it's like creating a course actually or subject. Kung sa college pa ni, kana mga subject na itong pangkuha, that's otherwise known as a course. Because your course mismo, kanang BS Ed, DED, muna gitawag nga program. That's your program. What are the courses under your program? Matong doon na kay EDUC 101, EDUC 102, or Filipino 101, English 101, so on and so forth. Now, let's put that into the junior high school, senior high school, or elementary context. So what's going to happen here is, say for example, I'm in a junior high, and we are offering English 7, Math 7, or 8 subjects for grade 7, 8 subjects for grade 8, 8 subjects for grade 9, 8 subjects for grade 10. So what's going to happen there to avoid nga daghan or samo kaayo, what can be done is you can go ahead and create a course per subject. So in grade 7, 1 course per subject, and that's going to be handled by a teacher. Right? The good thing about it is that the teacher has access to the course only, but the teacher will not have access to the other courses not assigned to him. But the manager, who is you, mo'y dunay access ana. So say for example here, I'm gonna go ahead and make use of this one. So I'll get inside San Agustin National High School, and then I'll get inside school year 2020, and then I can go ahead and start creating courses. Now, for me to create a course, all I need to do is click on add a new course. So ako na siyang i-click. And then it's going to ask me of information. So what's the course full name? Now, for the course full name, according to DepEd, we should start with the gitawag na to nga school year. I'm sorry, school ID. So in my case, the 0287. Okay, ang importante ani is wala siya ka-duplicate. That's the reason why it's important that you include your ID, school ID, because that makes it unique. And then after that is a dash, and then you specify the school year. So 2020, you don't have to complete that to 2021, just SY 2020. And then you need to specify if, say for example, usa ra ka section, pwede wala na section. Okay? Pero kung na section, what you can do is you can go ahead and add in a section. So say for example, I'm sorry, grade level pa di ay. So ibutang ta grade 7 na siya. So I'll add G7 for grade 7. And then section, for example, that's amethyst. Okay. So grade 7 amethyst. And we're talking about Ing 7. All right. Ing 7, that's English 7. So I need to give it a full name. So that's English 7. So, muna akong course full name. So, that is school ID, school year, and then the level, and then the section. Kung walay section, usara, pwede na siyang tangtangon. So, pwede kami ng G7, English 7, Ing 7, and English 7. So, mao na imong course full name. Now, the short name is also a requirement. So, what you can do is you can just go ahead and copy that, and then paste that there. That becomes your short course. Okay? That becomes your short course. Ayaw ni siya, pila kay mao ni maka-ingon nga mahimo na siya nga full course. So just until the course code. The course code is Ing 7. And as much as possible, anything before this last dash does not have any space. Kaya the course short name, mas nindot kung wala siya space. But ang naay space, i-accept na siya. But per standard procedures as provided by the central office, as much as possible, it's going to be written this way, right? So again, school ID, dash, the school year, just the initial, or the start year, the BOCE year, and then the level, G7, and then the section, if it's applicable. But if it's not applicable, pwede na natangtangon, no? Pwede na siya mangingana, right? So English 7, Eng 7, and then English 7, and then just copy that via Kutub and then paste that here. Okay. So this particular course is under course category SY 2021. Okay. Now, nganong butangan pa man siya og 2020 diri nga under naman din siya diri, because what's going to happen is that kung wala ni siya, nya next year kay online gihapon, dili na ni siya dawaton. Ngano man na-create naman as 3028887G7 ing 7. So that's the importance of SY 2020 to differentiate the course for this year into the next year. And then the course visibility is always set to show. So pasagdi ilan na by default. And then the course start date, mauni siya basically ang kuan, kinaunhan nga date wherein magsugod ang klase. So say for example, ang klase kay nagsugod man siya October 5, then set that to October 5. Alright? Nya, kini diri dapita 00. So meaning alas 12 sa tungang gabi, this course is open for access by students already. And then, kining course end date, there is a button here that says enable. So if you enable this, what's going to happen is that at exactly November 6, 2021, students will no longer be able to access this. So it's like the limit. So you could also set this using the standard end of school year of DepED, which is the 11th of June 2021. But if you enable that, meaning wala siya closure, so ma-access siya sa estudyante at any time. But you can still go ahead and modify. So I'll set that to June 11, 2021. And then you can just put in a short summary description. You could say this is the official virtual class of, then kopya para madali. But if you want to personalize it, that's up to you. And then just go ahead and immediately click on save and display. You can just let the others be as is. Okay. The expectation is that whenever you're done creating the course, the course name would show up as a header, and then these are your navigation bar. So currently we're inside Pilar, San Agustin NHS 2021, and then we're under Ing 7. This is the short course, diba? So we are under this particular course and particularly participants. So we are in the participant list. All right. So, unsa may mahitabo diri dapita. For the participant list, this is where you can go ahead and enroll users. Say, for example, you want to go ahead and enroll somebody as a student. So, say, for example, I'll add Fernan. There. Fernan. There. And then, I'll add him. And then, I'll assign a role that would be student. And then enroll selecting student. Okay, so meaning, kini si Fernan Biinad is already a student to this class. All right. So that's manual enrollment, meaning you're the one enrolling. However, you could also make that gitawag na to nga automatic in such a way that it's going to be the student who would do the enrollment themselves. Kini diri dapita white choice, ang estudyante enrolled na siya. Pero doon na po tayo mechanism that would make it automatic wherein the students could enroll themselves. And how do we do that? For us to be able to do that, on the participants, after we have created the course, just go ahead and click on manual enrollments. Okay? Here. All right. Click ng manual enrollments. And then what's going to happen here is you can go ahead and enable manual enrollment, and default role is student. Wait, this is not, okay. Let me look for the other. All right, sorry. Not manual enrollment, but again, click on the gear icon and then enrollment methods, not the manual enrollment, sorry. And then you would need to enable, balik ko na ko ha. We are in participants after creating the course. Again, we click on the gear icon and then click on enrollment methods. Okay. Under enrollment methods, you should be able to see that the only one that's activated is manual enrollment. Kaya maura na siya nagsiga ang mata, no? Okay. Now, ayaw lang natanawan ng guest access, but take a look at the self-enrollment student. So all you have to do is just enable that. All right. So unsa may mahitabo? For example, I'll log in as a student. LMS.DepED Bohol. I'll log in as a student para makita ninyo unsay kalahian. Ako sa siyang i-disable para makita ninyo unsa may kalahian di ay kung kuan. There. Kung kanang manual enrollment lang. Wait, forgot my account. Sorry. Okay, pero ako sa tangtangon si Koan, ako sa tangtangon si Fernando Enad para makita niyo ang difference. So, tangtangon ako siya. And then mobalik ko dre. So I'm just really a regular person here. So I'll go to Pilar. Ato ko sa Pilar. And then ato ko ni San Agustin in HS. And then ato ko ni 2020. And then here 302887. So I'll try to access that. Ngayon siya, you cannot enroll yourself in this course because the setting nga current nato is manual enrollment, meaning only the teacher can do the enrollment. Pero what if I'll enable self-enrollment o sa may mahitabo der pita? When you enable, ang mata kay matangtang tong slash and then get this or click the gear icon so that you can go ahead and sign or create an enrollment key. Ibutang tag, the enrollment key is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So pwede na kami ingon, to students, please go ahead and access the G 30287 SY 2020 G7 Inc 7 English 7 course. And then the code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So saan mahitabo dahil napita? Balik ko sa SY 2020 and then musud ko ni 302, makita mo na siya yawi, meaning pwede ka makasulod, basta doon naka-enrollment key. So as a student, I can just go ahead and type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then enroll me, and then I now have access to this class. Alright? So again, atong balikon. There are two options for adding students. That's manual enrollments. If it's manual enrollment, meaning only the teacher could add students and even the students cannot get inside the classroom being added. But if you talk about self-enrollment is a feature that would allow us to let users or to let students enroll themselves provided that they have the enrollment key. Okay. Again, balik ko na to. Pag-ito to sa course, mo ni kinauna nakita, right? So that we'll be able to set, pwede ta arita sa enrollment method. And then atong gi-enable ang self-enrollment. Pagka-enable na atong gi-click ang gear icon. Pagkahuman atong gibutangan og password or enrollment key. So kanang enrollment key maunay gamiton sa imong estudyante para maka-join siya sa class. Okay. Pero if you wanna settle for manual enrollment, then get. No one's gonna stop you on that. That's up to you. Alright. Pero in our school, what actually happens is that I as the administrator is the one responsible for enrolling all the learners to the courses. It's just that on your end you don't have an option like that because this is managed by the division office. So what's going to happen is that you really would either need to manually add these students into your classes, or you can go ahead and have them enroll using an enrollment key. Now, going back to participants, there's no limit as to how many you can add. So I can still go ahead and add in users. I want to go ahead and add Ma'am Debbie Lustre as a student. All right. So what's going to happen here is that Ma'am Debbie is already enrolled as a student. However, since Ma'am Debbie is also a manager, then Ma'am Debbie can go ahead and perform anything about the particular course. So mo rin nahitabo diha dapita, right? Participants. But if you actually navigate from here, you could see that when you click this, you are inside the class. So that's the reason why natin topic 1 to topic 4, which we will populate later. And then, kung click na po ka na, dihan mo makita ang mga course na ang mga subject na yung mag-create ganina, or go back to here, or go back to here so that you'll be able to see the other classes that are created. So my challenge for you now is to go ahead and create at least one course, the subject that you're handling if you are a teacher. But if you are a school head, then I'd suggest that you go for your LBM. So pwede ra kami ingon dito under, pwede dili na, yeah, under gyapon siya sa SY 2020-2021. Then you can just go ahead and say, sa nagusin na gyapon ko mag-sample. Alright, so for the school heads, you can just go ahead and say 302887 SY 2020, and then LBM to LBM course, or imo na siya specify learning, delivery, modality, to course for teachers. Right, and then ang imong short kanara LDM2 ko to. Hinahibaw naman na siya. Alright? And then pwede ninyo i-open kanus aman ang imong LDM2 kanus aman dapat i-take sa teacher nga course. Ibutang ta nagsugod na siya og October 5 nya dapat in 1 month kay mahuman na o cover, so November 6. And then you can just go ahead and put in the description, this is the official virtual class for the LDM2 course. Pwede na po kumatin na pula, kopya for there. Okay. And then save and display, the same thing. You go ahead and add your teachers. So teachers na lang. So that later on, we can go ahead and populate. So you can just go ahead and click kay participants naman na siya. Just go ahead and click here so that you can get inside. So pares-parehas na siya, only that ang katong usa is for a regular classroom, and then the second one is for the English 7. So meaning, if it's going to be in a practical scene, dapat nigawas dito si Mathematics 7, Filipino 7, MAPI, TLE, so on and so forth. And especially for Tech Voc, wherein there are different majors, then it needs to be created as well. Okay, so say for example, 302887 SY 2020, and then this is G7. Niya paghahuman kay TLE man siya, so or TVE for example. So TVE 9, then butanga na to siya kung sa man siya, kokire or CSS, pwede initial lang, no? Ibutang tag CSS G7 niya TLE 9, so sorry, 9. Example CSS, pwede po CSS 9 na siya, and then computer system servicing. So mo na yung full, no? So very inganaon nga style, and then ayang short kanara. Okay? Or if it's bread and pastry, so pwede po BP9 or food and beverage FB or so on and so forth. So kamo na ibahala, but just make sure nga this is kind of unique with the other subjects. Now, do we have any question from the audience as to how is it going to be done? Okay, murag daghan jud dili ka kita sa screen, no? Ngano kaha. The rest are able to see the screen actually, so I don't know why you're not seeing it. But I hope you're able to follow because I kind of describe the faces, no? Nga akong giagian. So let me just go ahead and take a look to some of the schools here and see if they're able to create a course already. All right, Bagong Bayan is done. Grade 6 Jade Math, very good. Pilar, you also have grade 7, English 7. My suggestion, ma'am, for for Pilar, pwede dili na to i-spell out ang kuan kanang grade 7 para dili kay siya taas. And then minimize additional spaces. And then as much as possible na siguro iuna ang section. Okay, para kuan man na, yung hierarchy is kind of section, grade level section, and then the subject. Para doon na siya murag matawag na to nga proper hierarchy. Alright. Kinsa pa yung mga school. For Lundag ES, ma'am, you forgot to add the school year 2020-2021. Please have that added, and then specify what the subject is based on my recommendations late ganhina a while ago. Okay, let me go ahead and check on Lumbay Maragala Paisod.
Ano sir?
Ma?
Sa lundag ni sir, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Ang lundag kay you forgot to add, ma'am, SY 2020 nga category before adding a course. So, sa'yo na ni ma'am. Sa'yo na ni imuha kay you already have that. What we can do is we can just go ahead and add a subcategory. So that's SY 2020-2021, so that I can go ahead and move your course.
Mag-add SY 2020-2021 sir sa...
Okay na ma'am, ako na lang ma'am. Okay. I'm currently creating it.
Okay sir, thank you.
Welcome. Lundag to, no? Okay. So ako na lang edit ani ma'am. I just have to really change it raman. Dali raman is siya. So lundag there. Okay. So that's how you create, no? Say for example, di mo dyan malikan nga masayop. So say for example, para sa lundag ang hinang nahitabo is that instead nga musud pa sila sa 2021 para mag-create og course, diri mismo under sa lundag sila naka-create og course. So what you would need to do is just go ahead and create the category nga 2021, and then once you're done creating it, open the course, no? Kay inig-create nimo or inig-open nimo sa course de dapita, you can go ahead and modify it, go to edit settings, and then from here, pwede man nimo ibalhin ang course to a different, provided that you have access to it. Pero kung wala access, of course, it's not going to allow you. But if you have access, pwede ra kayo mo siya ibalhin, sabi sa nasa. So ato lang siyang i-follow yun nga kuan kanang school year, and then kato din nga mga subject. Pero okay na ning lundag ES, ma'am. I've updated it already, but I would suggest that you modify your naming convention. Again, for the naming convention, it should be the school ID dash SY 2020 without a space, and then dash the level. Okay. So ako lang i-stop share ha, and then i-share balik para ma-refresh ang uban nga muragwa nakakita. Okay. So suggestion is like this, ma'am. If this is G7 and this is English, the suggestion is for you to make it like this. So it's like so kung kini atong i-update or i-modify, i-honor na siya. No space, tantangan ng 2021. If this is grade 6, put it there. So, ako na lang ni i-edit kaya para makita na to sa tanan. So, atong i-edit settings. And then, the full name, tangtangon na nato siya. And then, that's G6. Kung wa siya section, just go ahead and immediately go to the subject. So, Eng 6. And then dash English 6. And then for your short course, kutobra na siya diha. No? Wala na tong full literal nga English 6. Kutobra ta sa course code. So it's just like that. Alright? That's how you modify, and then go ahead and save and display. Right. Again, how do we modify? We modify by getting inside, no? Ibutang tag 2021. We get inside the subject, and then click on the gear icon on the upper right, and then edit settings. That is how you can go ahead and modify your full name, modify your short name, as well as modify as to which category should it be placed under. So mao na siya diha dakita as to how to manipulate it. Okay. Sige, I hope everyone is following. Let me just go ahead and check asa dapita ang kuan, wala pa kaayo entry. Ilaod. Pares po sa ilaod, palihog ko og update sa ilaod kato kung gi-check din hina. Mura nagtapan siguro ni sila kay pares mo sila mannerism in creating. So, same create SY 2020, 2021 and then move that course inside that category. Alright, Pilar kay nag-create sila SY 2020 grade 7 daghan. Palug lang siguro kog delete sa usa. Kung kinsay managers ani murag duha to ka box si Sir Lucica ug si Ma'am, I forgot the first name. Right. And then Del Pilar, wala pa'y sulod, binaswerte. Okay. Again, though there is no gitawag nga stricta in terms of naming your course, but you need to understand that your course should be significant, no? Kay it will eventually affect the next school. Kay kung kini mo ni gamiton karon grade 6-1 math, ini ka 2020, 2022 ani dili na siya dawaton. What if grade 6-1 math gihapon siya, di ba? Mo na nga tong specify nga naa gihapon siya SY 2020. So I hope katong nakakita sa gi-demonstrate ganhina will be able to have that applied. Very good for alundag mo na ganhina, no? Right. Also requesting Lumbay, please follow the guidelines. Kuha nga na lang ni siya, ma'am. Unsa man nga subject. Kaya di man pwede good nga sa usa ka class kaya ato na mo ibutang tanang subject kay maglibog ang bata. If you could notice ganhina, no? Nara ba na siya module niya. Asa man ibutang kung grades, kuha man na siya unsa nga subject. Maglibog ang bata ko nga nga staff. So dapat one class per subject. Let's go to katagdaan. For katagdaan, please again follow the suggested guidelines. Look at pundag on how they're naming it. That should be the best way to name a subject. All right, San Vicente Elementary School. Okay, pwede na po niyo siya yung ani, pero nanobraan siya ng 2020 kaya mutaas na mag siya. Ako pa sa mutaas is that nag-open ni mo ba? Taas na kay Dre sa ibabaw bitaw. So, pili tangtangon ng 2021. Kuto bra juga sa 2020 kay wa po siguro 2020, 2022 no. So, tangtangan na siya and then G5. And then you could say Math 5. Kaya para nindot kay tanaan ba? Nga na example. 2020 and then G5 Math 5 and then Mathematics 5. Okay, mo na full. And then mo na mo himuon nga short. Pwede mo maglibog sa ibutang sa short. Alright? So ano lang yun? And then save. Do we have any questions on how to go ahead and create courses under your respective categories?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Kanang sa Pilar Textbook, sir, ba? Kaning 302, gusto na akong i-delete nga part. Kaya gusto na akong ibalhin. Ako po siyang i-edit. Kanina ay 302, 84, SY 2020. Nga na, grade 7. Kung sa'yo tawag, ani, sub-course ba niyo? Or mo na yung course? So, na po, delete,
course
sir.
Na ni siya. Kining diamond na may delete?
Course? Oh, sir. Ako sana i-delete, sir. Kaya para nakatunong. Kung
Okay.
gustong ikuan.
For you to be able to delete it, ma'am, tanaw sana ako, ma'am, kung doon na batay power to delete. Actually, ang deletion na ma'am, kaya arita diri napita sa kuan, ma'am. Arita sa site home.
Sir.
O, sa site home taagi kay dili ka delete kung adto ka mismo sa iyang page. So, adto ka sa site home, and then adto ka sa view more, and then adto ka sa Pilar, and then adto ka sa Pilar Textbook 2021. I'm sorry, i-manage course, lagi kan sa site home, i-manage course nimo, sorry. i-manage course kay di ka makakita sa close pang-delete kung naana or wala siya na manage course na. So, Pilar
Ato
here.
yapon sa ko answer Pilar. Okay.
Pilar gihapon,
Aha,
i-expand gihapon nimo katong SY. Inikahuman nimo expand it the pista, nya na lagi
So,
pa.
ato ko sa
Mugawas
Pilar
tong
ko.
additional. Unya kabantay ka ni ma'am, tanawa ang screen ma'am, di ba? Kini na-delete.
Di man ko sa screen, sir.
Kita sa screen. I-open gapon ma'am, di ba? Nanggawas mo na doon yung mga plus, no? Ni-click ang manage course.
So,
Site home niya, manage course. Upper right.
So, wait. Site ato ko sa Pilar Textbook, sir? Or i-collapse all na ho or insa? Wala
Ay,
site
kuan
home.
ako, nakasuna ka sa Pilar, ma'am. Gikam ka site home.
Pilar. Site home. Tapos
Naka sa site
Pilar
home,
na ko
Pilar.
niya.
Manage courses, nasa right. May button.
Pilar. What may manage courses?
That's babaw, ma'am. Ibabaw. Tapos
Wala,
Pilar
may
ng word.
Wala. Wait. Okay, wait. Wala man. Wait. Dara. Wait. Wala jud siya, sir. Wala.
Sa ako sa tanawan. Ay, musunod sa ka sa textbook, ma'am. Nakasunod na ka sa textbook?
Masunod. Okay, wait pa, sir. Sir, ha? Pilar Textbook.
Dito man ka na-assign as manager.
Okay. Dara, sir. Manage courses. Then,
manage courses mo na, di ba, murag mo lahi o purma na yung mga plus, no? Na yung mga mata-mata.
yes, sir.
Or tanawa right side, ma'am, kung na ba ka nakita nga course. Right side.
Course categories and courses. And
nakita na to ni mo usa, ma'am.
categories and
nakita na to ni mo, ma'am. Ang katong imong dilitonon.
Wala.
Kung dili pa i-click sa ang SY 2020 under Pilar, ma'am. Under Pilar Textbook.
Okay, wait. Okay.
Yeah, makita dyan na nimo on the right side. I-click nimo sa SY 2020-2021. Murag under, asa ni magi-under ning kuan kini imong usa ka course. Pero dapat makita na nimo kay we're viewing the same way. I-click sa ng SY 2020. Mas nindot siguro ma'am kung makita ka sa screen, ma'am, kay lisod kay siya i-describe. Especially if
dera, wait. Hapit na sa makita. Hindi tayo internet. Okay. And then, kani si 302 Diamond, kanina yung matap, i-reason niya yung garbage.
Itapad ka ng tapad sa mata, ma'am.
I-click na yung garbage bin. Garbage bin, delete. Okay.
Nag-click ni mo, ana, mangutana na siya, are you absolutely sure? So, just click on delete para ma-delete na siya.
Confirm. Okay. Okay, sir. Noted, sir.
Sige.
Salamat, sir.
Alright. Do we have any other questions? Istaka, sir, wala po. Ma'am Deb, wadyo ka, magbuta o kuan, ma'am. Butang niya lagi kuan, ma'am. ID niya, kinsay assign, ma'am, kayo. Kailan nila, ma'am.
Ako sa ilang school ID, school ID B 30. Ano ba to, ha? Ma'am Bibian, Igsoon.
Ipabutang lang, ma'am. Ipabutang atong Facebook, ma'am, para dito magka kuan, ma'am, floor. Ay, magkuan sa ko, ha, mag-backtrack sa ko. Kay naa pa man ay nag-add ka dito sa. For those nga wala pa, please continue doing so while I'm currently adding credentials kay para makaapas-apas ning uban kay luipod. Ito nga akong gipangaya pagbuntag kay bawd ko nga it would eat some time if Kung na-submit pa ron ninyo pag ganinang buntag, di nakasugod na unta ta. Okay, Aurora. Aurora. Muna kung doon mga web training, I would really suggest that we always pay attention to the speaker because the speaker would really try his best to be able to manage the time well. So if he's asking something from the participants, it is really imperative that the participants would follow para ditso, not like this, karon pa ninyo gipang apas. So we are in the middle of discussing another topic already, but yet we're still assigning access when it was supposed to be done during the lunch break. Bakal to. Walay pa kaldo, ma'am. Palogog ka nang pa-create niya account, ma'am Deb. Wala nag-create og account, ma'am, si Ma'am Jovelyn. Ikaw na lang add ni Ma'am Deb later. Mag-create lang og categories daan. Pagkakay. Dul na Pilar. By the way, if you're a manager already of a particular category, you should be able to add a co-manager. Pwede ra kaayo mag-add o co-manager if you are the manager already of a particular category. And you would have the same access. Let me just finish creating this. Suerte. Ma'am Aids na ma'am, sa Buena Suerte. Pilar. Okay, I'm done. For those who are able to send out the request via the chat, you're already added to your respective classes. And then kung na pa mo apas, later on na lang ha, kaya we have been eating much our time for about 15 minutes just for adding when this could have been done during the lunch break so that we can move on. All right, so again, we now know how to basically create courses. Again, for you, courses are the virtual classes, and there might be what man giingon nga strict, in terms of the policy in creating names. But this is a convention provided by the central office that when you're creating a course name, it should start with a what we call as the school ID, and then dash the school year, just the SY 2020 for that matter. And then the level, G1, G2, 3, 4, 5 to 12, so G7. And then dash the course code, I'm sorry, section, if there is a section, ibuta amitis, and then dash the course code, Mat 7, Phil 7, Sci 7, ESP 7, so on and so forth, or TLE 7. And then after that is the full name of the subject. So if it says Ing 7, then it will be spelled out as English 7, such as this one, the one that I'm presenting. Okay, so I hope we're able to take note of the strategy, no, so that we will be well guided with how to put in names in our course sites. So again, an example of this one is this one, 302-SY2020-G7, grade 7, Ing 7, English 7. That's the full course name. And then for the short name, kotobra lang siya sa imuhang course code. Alright. Para duol-duol ra ang imuhang course name o course short name or full name. Again, it's not strict. Bisan unsa inyong ingan diha dapita, dawato na siya. But then we need to always bear in mind that everything that we type in here should make sense. And it should be unique because there's still a possibility that we would be creating the same course name next year. And if that happens, then if you are not so unique because you did not add the school year, then mapugos ka o butang ulay characters, and that's going to be messy. Right, again, that's the suggested way of putting a name. So I hope everyone will follow. So that we'll have gitawag na to uniformity naming convention, so that ang bata, especially if I'm enrolled to 8 subjects, di ko maglibog asa man jud ako ani, no? So yung ana ang style. So maura gina siya ang naming convention nga gi-suggest. So that's how you create courses. Again, when you create courses, automatically it would create the course for you. So all you have to do is just get inside the course. So what happens here is that Ma'am Deb will have access to all of your courses because she is the manager for Pilar. But say, for example, you are from a different school, and then a manager from a different school would like to access your school, or maka-access siya sa school, but dili siya ka-access sa course because course is limited to either manual or self-enrollment. And again, if we talk about manual, that means to say it's the teacher who's doing the enrollment. But if it's going to be self-enrollment, it's going to be the student who would need to enroll using an enrollment key. And how do we access that again? That is accessible through participants. No, if we are in the course, go to participants, and then from here, click on the gear icon, and then go to enrollment methods, so that you will be able to, the manual enrollment is already activated, and all you have to do is activate the self-enrollment, so that once it's enrolled, you can go ahead and create an enrollment key that you would need to provide to your learners. But as much as possible, this should be avoided, and it should be manual, so that only the students can really get inside the particular class. And again, that is how you create a course, and that is how you enroll students or learners in that course. Do we have any questions so far? Do we have a question from Sir Ronald? You're raising your hand, sir. Or any question from
Sir,
Pilar
wala may
Technical?
katod. Asa dapat mag-enroll, sir?
Where are you at right now?
Topic, sir.
Nanay topic.
Topic, sir.
Right, ay participants on the left side, ma'am. Left side. Course section, participant. Nakita na to?
Wala pa, sir. Dapat
Kung saan din gamit ma'am, cellphone or laptop?
Cellphone o laptop, sir.
Cellphone o laptop, sir.
Okay. Listo jud kay kung mag-cellphone tanong niya, ang nag-demonstrate kay laptop. Okay.
Ate,
Lahi ginagnan.
sir. Ito ko, sir.
Okay, participants.
Participants kining naong di ay.
Nana.
There's a course section. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sige. All right. Any other question related to what has just been presented? Clarification or any challenges that you're encountering creating the course? All right. So this is just one. Okay.
sir.
So yes, ma'am.
Kaning ko bitong course and date katong ingana. Butangan pa ba siya, sir? Or kung nakalimot mo gud ko?
That depends on you, ma'am. That depends on you because again, like what I mentioned, the course and date, it's up to you if you wish that your student will still be able to access the course even if the class has ended. Say for example, nahuman ng school year, then you can just uncheck the enable. But kung ganahan ka nga stricto nga dili na ma-access the student at the end of the school year, then you would have to enable it and you have to populate the end date. So that kung maabot na ang end date, then kana nga course dili na ma-access sa estudyante.
So kano sa man asa na may hong ibutang ani, sir? Asa na may hong ibutang dili na ibutangan na og kuan.
That's
month,
the one,
date,
ma'am.
year,
That's the school year. What's the last day of school year 2020-2021? That's what you would need to put in. Or you can even extend that a week after kung ganahan pa ka nga ma-access pa na sa bata. Basta, ang hunahunahon lagi pa di maglibog. Unsa may dates cover sa usa ka school year. Or if this is a subject in senior high, asa kutob ang inyong semester, ano lagi na siya? Start and end date. Mara ginatong tanawa. But then again, it depends on you if ganahan pa ba ka access pa na or dili na.
So butangan ra og kaning i-check ra gihapon ning answer, i-check ra ning enable or di na. Or
kung imong butangan, ma'am, yes, imo gina i-check. Pero kung dili na mo butangan, ayaw i-check kay kung imo na i-uncheck, di mo po na mangayo.
Okay. 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 So go answer kadong participant na bitaw, sir, ato asa to siya dapita pangitaon.
Left side, ma'am.
Kanang inag-enroll na bitaw, sir. Inag-enroll. Kalimot ko, sorry.
Hala, balik-balik lagi ni pangutan na. Sige. Left side.
Left.
Left side. Tanawa na adto sa kasud sa course and then na participant sa kilid.
Okay. Sige po ano ko kaapa. Sige. Left side participant. Okay. Here, okay.
We have a question from Sir Zeto Galagar.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. How can I help you, sir?
Kanang need ba sa mga students, sir, na doon na sila email ad before nato sila ma-enroll?
The email answer is a requirement. So yes, but it is suggested that the email address that they should be using is the ones issued by DepEd. There is an email where all our enrolled learners right now have been issued email addresses. If you don't have those info, please reach out to the district ICT for elementary or the secondary ICT for secondary schools because they've been trained already how to provide email addresses to the learners because these learners have been issued email addresses by DepEd. So kung doon na tayo DepEd nga account, ang ato mga learners na napod actually mga email. But they're using their LRN and they're using r71-deped.deped, r7-1.deped.gov.ph.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Right. Any other questions related to what has been covered? Again, what was covered was just really creating a course, and we have not populated it yet. All of the things that you want to do on the course, of course, you need to get inside to the course first before you can even access participants. Kaya kung napaka sa SY 2020, do not expect that you would have an option to browse the participants. So you need to get inside the course. After getting inside the course, naate makita nga option sa left side. If it's not showing, again, click the kanang three lines. If you're using phones, of course, there's going to be a difference because I'm utilizing the laptop. So, paningkamot mo kangita na, but it's always hidden inside the three dashes. Mo nang it's kuan jud if we're having a webinar, please tanawa lang po ang kuan screen kay lisod mo na siya explain o kuan kanang i-verbalize ra. So, kung wa mo nakita nga course section, participants, badges, competencies, it's either nga nataguan na siya, natabunan. So, i-click ra ng 3 bars beside SDO Bohol LMS nga nay logo. No? Nanay 3 bars diha, i-click ra na siya, mugawas ra na siya nga options, and then from there, you can check participants, and then on that participant, you can go ahead and enroll the users. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Chemistry, physics, or science related.
Okay, any other question, clarification? Okay, kung wala, let's go ahead and move on and populate our courses. All right, it appears that there are no questions already, so let's go ahead and move on to the next, which is populating the courses. Okay. Now, of course, the next step that we would need to do for us to be able to manage the courses that we have created, of course, dili ang manager mo create sa mga courses, no? Or pwede ang manager mo create sa courses, but it's going to be the teacher who would need to populate it. But of course, as managers, we also need to know how to populate it so that we'll be able to also tell or teach or train our co-teachers on how to be able to populate it. So for us to be able to populate it, we need to get inside to the course. Say, for example, I'm inside English 7. I'm pretty sure nakita na to ng topic 1, 2, 3, and 4, correct? We're able to see that, right? Can I get a feedback?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Topic
Okay. So, on this particular course site, ato makita dia dapita nung anay topic 1, topic 2, and then topic 3. Let me just end my share and then reshare it just to make sure that the sharing is updated. Okay, here. So again, inside the course, which is under SY 2020, and then under 3028887, makita na itong anay topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, and then topic 4. So what's going to happen now is we'll go ahead and populate the content. Well, how do we populate? Right. So that depends now on the materials that you have. So say, for example, on week 1, particularly in week 1, what we did is we provided learning activity sheets, right? Or say, for example, learn a module, then that's our content. Now, to streamline the process, what we would need to do is we update first our topic labels. Okay, if you could notice, it says topic 1, but to put it into a context, diba? We are delivering lessons on a weekly basis. So it is suggested that we change that on a weekly naming convention as well. Question is, how do we rename the topic 1, 2, 3, and 4? Now, if you could notice, there is a button that says turn on or turn editing on. So when you click on that button, what's going to happen is that you would see that there are may request. Palog ko, sawa nag-mute. Okay. Right, may request, sorry, for you to be able to change to pag-click nimo og turn editing on, what's going to happen is that you would see pencils already right beside the labels. So if it's a pencil, that means to say that you can modify it, no? So say for example, I want to change topic 1 to week 1. But week 1, what's for week 1? Week 1 is October 5 to October 9, so that your learners would be pretty aware as to mao din ni ang topic for week 1, no? From October 5 to October 9. Okay, so sa may sunod, October 12, 16. So week 2, that's October 12, October 16, 2020. So kung ako estudyante, klaro kayo sa ako ang mao din ni ang learning activity sheet for the week, so on and so forth. So let me just try to continue filling that out. So this is 19, 20, 30. So week 30, October 19, 23, 2020. All right, and then let me just go ahead and populate up until week number 4. That's 2630. So that's week 4, October 26 to October 30, 2020. Okay. All right. So from what you can see now, the topics, which are supposed to be topic 1, 2, 3, 4, has been contextualized and has been renamed to week 1 with a corresponding date coverage so that my learner, di siya masagsaag. Okay? Not all of our learners are so cautious with what number of the week is. They will be more cautious on the dates. Okay. So since we already have categorized it, what we can do now is we can go ahead and populate it with contents. Now, question is, how do we populate it with contents? If you could notice, right under week 1, no, October 5, October 9, there's a link says, or there's a plus here that says, add an activity or resource. So if you could notice, there are a lot of links here. Add an activity or resource. What does it mean? Meaning, if I'll click this here, whatever is the resource that I'll be adding will be added before, or I'm sorry, after announcement. So naho siya nga ka-level, mura siya nasa topmost. Kung adi ko mag-click under week 1, then that particular resource will be added under week 1, week 2, week 3, so on and so forth. Now, these are the handles that you can also see. This is what you would need to use if you need to rearrange the topic. No, just click and move so that you'll be able to move it. It's just drag and drop. Now, going back, how do we add activity or resources? Now, on this topic, we'll go ahead and cover just a few, no? Okay, there's really a lot, but we don't have the whole training to be able to cover it. We'll just be very specific to file. We'll be very specific to page, and we'll be specific to URL. Okay, now let's go ahead and start with file. Now what happens here is that these are my gitawag na tong learning activity sheets. So I have here for ibutanta, this is for week 1, and then this is for week 2. Example lang ni ha. Say for example, this is last week 1. Yeah, this is last week 2. Okay, example lang na Zaya. All right, so what's going to happen now is I'll go ahead and start adding the material. So for me to be able to do that is I need to click on add an activity or resource. And the expectation is that this shows up. And if you could notice, there's going to be a lot of options that you could choose from. But then again, we'll focus on just the 3. That's file, page, and URL. So I'm going to go ahead and look for file. So here's file. So I'll click on file. And then the expectation is it's going to basically ask me for what is the name. So for this one, I'll just name it as last week 1. Okay. And then you can go ahead and add a description. What you can do is you can be more instructional. You can just go ahead and say, access the last week 1 material and read through the contents. Make sure, no, you 100 personalize, make sure you understood the concepts before taking the exercises or activities. Right. All right. And then it is suggested that you go ahead and actually click this. Nga naman kay para kini nga phrasing makita na siya sa bata. Okay. And then here, select files. Considering that I already have a file here, I can just go ahead and drag it. So drag that there. And then ibutang na siya there dapita. Or kung di ka ganang drag and drop because you find it hard to do it, there is another mechanism, and that is to just click. And the same thing as what we did with your picture, go ahead and go to upload file, choose file, and then locate where ni mo gi-store. So in here, I have the last week 1. I'll open it, upload it. Once done with the uploading, let's just wait for a while. Mo humara na siya kadang upload. It's 86%. Okay, so meaning this is already uploaded. Now, what we would need to do is we need to set the appearance. Maura niya itong kinahanglan, appearance. Unsa may naadri dapita. We'll go ahead and make sure that this is embed. Alright? Ganong embed man ni siya kaya para inig-click makita dayon sa estudyante. Alright. Duha ka actually as suggested, that is embed and in pop-up. But let's do first embed. Unsa man na si embed? So I'm gonna go ahead and select embed and then save and return to course. Okay. So what you will notice here is that the description that I've added on the description box is also added, and the title that I've added is also added. No, may nabutang sa title with the description. So if I am the learner here, so ato ko sa learner account. Okay, learner ko ni English 7. What I will notice is that ang porma sa teacher na turn editing on, so on and so forth, and activity, pero sa estudyante wala gina siya, no? Why mabuhat ang estudyante? Only the teacher should be able to add contents. Okay, so if I were the student, then I'll click on last week 1. What's going to happen is that I would immediately see that these are the concept notes being added by my teacher. So I can go ahead and go through that. And I'm also able to see that there are a lot of activities that are added. It's about 1 to 4 activities nga gi-add. Okay. So, mauna ang mga resources. Okay. So, that's one. Let me go ahead and try to change. What if they ko ganahan og embed? And what I want is in pop-up. So, as a teacher, you can just go ahead and click on edit and then click on edit settings, no? And then on the appearance, you can change it to in pop-up and then show more. Pwede po ka, dili ka mag-show more, pwede ingana lang nga style. Pwede wala ra na siya, just in pop-up and then save and return to course. So when I go back to 302 English 7, all right, if I am a student and I will go back here and click na ko instead nga mo open siya on the same page, it will open up a pop-up window and dito na ko makitaan ang learning activity sheets. Okay? So mao ni siya ang in pop-up nya katong ganhina mao to ang embed. Okay. As to how the learners would submit their output, that's going to be later on. Our focus here is first the file. So may I request everyone to please go ahead and do the same thing on your courses. Please add at least one learning activity sheet to the subject that you're assigned to, and then put in the necessary description or instruction. For the school heads, you can go ahead and upload module 1 of the LDM, and then also provide instructions for your colleagues or to actually read on. Right. Before we move on to the other type of resources, I want to see some of you who are successful in adding resources to your created courses. May I ask if unsang school ang naka-start na? Let's check with Pilar. Grade 7. Okay. Wala pa sa usa. Nag-update pa si ma'am. Oh, hopefully, ma'am will be able to have that updated with contents already. So is 5 minutes enough to be able to upload resources? Are we following, or do we have any questions related to how we can add resources to our courses? Hello? Nabatay pangutana on how to add? Again, a simple lang pag-ano. All we need to do is just really get inside the course. After getting inside the course, we go ahead and make sure that turn editing is pressed or dapat naka-click siya, naka-on siya. Okay. So if it's not on, you can go ahead and always click that. May tabo mo gani kung ako na i-off, mawal, ano lang ang additional, no? Mura nag-estudyante. Mura siya grade only. But if you click on turn editing on, you can interact and be able to provide resources. So that is for the file resources. So we're done with the file resources. Again, do we have any questions with file resources? Again, for file resources, there are only 2 suggested options for the appearance, and that is the embed or in pop-up. Okay, and question, can we add PowerPoint presentation here? Yes. Can we add pictures here? Definitely yes. Can we add Microsoft Word? Yes. All media types can be added in here. All right. I'll make it 4 na lang. I'll add the 4th type that is labeled. Do we have any questions about the file? All right. By the way, when we click that and we go to this, if you could notice, there are still a lot of options actually that you can do. You can even add videos should you wish to. You could also add audio instruction. So kung ganahan ka nga imo ra isulti, di nimo ikuan bitaw, di nimo isawat, pwede ra kayo. So example is this, I'll record. So I would then say start record. Yeah, all right. Hey class, please go ahead and access the last week 1 material and read through the contents. Make sure you understood the concepts before taking the exercises or activities. Stop recording. You can go ahead and try to play it. And then you attach it, no? So not only will our students would have gitawag na to nga textual nga instruction, but would be able to see or to hear verbal instruction. So mahitabo ani is this. Or if you don't love to hear your voice, you can also make use of the, if you have a recorded video, pwede. Pero pwede po ka mag-record of video, no? Automatically on this site. So just click that, and then you can go ahead and start recording. There is an error because I'm using my video here. Let me just disable my video in MS Teams. Okay, so I can say, hi class, good morning. Welcome to week 1. Please take a look on last for week 1. Make sure to review the contents and be able to understand them before taking the assessment or the activity. So record and I'll attach it, and let's take a look later as to how it's going to look like on the page. Okay. It may take some time because it's a video. Bugat-bugat man na siya mo na nga dugay ang upload as compared to the audio, no? So mo na difference. Ato na nang balikan later. But while it's uploading, may I ask if we have some questions related to adding files and to adding interactive instructions. Again, we can interact through putting in text. We could also add an audio file. We could also add a video as, you know, as a way of putting in some instruction. Yes, Sir Galagar, do you have any question?
Yes, sir. Kanang kung ang usa ka learner, sir, nakasubmit na siyang output, ma-view ba sa other learners?
If it's going to be an output, no, sir. Later, actually, ugma pa na itong topic, sir. We have separate topic for submission of outputs from the learners. Ang atong topic pa karon is just resources coming from the teacher, which is available to all. But tomorrow, we'll cover how to create a quiz. We'll also cover how to let students upload projects. And if I say project, that means to say they can only submit their individual project and they won't be able to see the submission of their classmates. So let me just go ahead and save this. Right, so here, if I'll play this. Action na video. Maragwa na ko man-delete rin pita. Sige lang, basingan na siya. You can go ahead and add kung ano, you can add video, you can add audio for your instruction to make your virtual class a more personalized one. So mo na mahitabo diya dapita. All right, so let me go ahead and try to check on other schools here and see if you're able to upload already. Can we get some volunteer? So that before I move on to the next, I can be assured nga nanay nakakuha in terms of how is it going to be done. All right. Si Ma'am Nanay, week 1 mathematics module. Okay. It's a Word document. Okay, not a quick suggestion. Though we are allowed to upload Word document, but we also need to put into consideration that not all of our learners have MS Word. Mao na nga, the suggestion is always to convert your material into a PDF. Kaya ang PDF kay it doesn't need additional installation man. Kaya ang PDF ma-open man siya Google Chrome. Mao na nga murag mas nindot siya ngayon kay kung karon ang module na siya mahitabuan na ma-download ra bitaw siya dili pares gina sa PDF kabantay mo sa PDF nga inig-click kay ma-open dayon without downloading. PowerPoint, Microsoft Word or any other files normally i-download niya before nimo makita. Pero kung PDF, what happens is ma-embed nimo siya. Aside from nga ma-embed nimo siya, pwede siya ma-in-pop up. So no need for downloading, no? Before makita siya dayon without downloading. But it's okay to have that added because you're allowed. But the suggestion from the central office is that as much as possible, we keep it as PDF so that our learners wouldn't need to install any other application to open what we have submitted. Mo na siya a suggestion. Na nalagay mo yung module, sa'yo lagay yung module, ma'am, sa Pilar. Central office issue ni ma'am. Okay. All right, and then let's not forget to add instruction. Saan to pag-add instruction? Just go to edit and then edit settings. Na-add ni ma'am, pero ang kulang ni ma'am is what niya ma-add kana. Display description and course page. So i-click ng display description on course page. Kaya kung dili na nimo i-click ang display description on course page, dili mo gawas. So there, parais ani na-update na siya. Okay. All right. Sige, great. How about the others? Can we see the output of the others? All right. Kinsa may mo kuan? San Isidro, sure ko na rin San Isidro. Okay, abtik po na yung San Isidro. Okay, Sampaguita. Ay, napaday. Mathematics. Ay, nag-create pa si ma'am ang kuan. Kisay mo kuan, mo offer para ma-check na to. It's actually good nga ato ma-check na siya kay para if there is a suggestion, then it can be incorporated. Yes, Sir Galagar, you were raising your hand, sir.
Yes, sir. Wala, sir. Wala, sir.
Hello, sir.
Wala, sir. Wala, sir. Kasi
Okay. All right.
Sorry, sir.
Sige. All right, Ma'am Tessa. Yes, ma'am. You can unmute your microphone, ma'am.
I-check ko sa Bagumbayan ES, sir.
Agumbayan, yes. Kinaunhan, no? There. Okay. Last. Oh, naka-embed. Okay, naka-ini siya, ma'am. Kung ano siguro, ma'am, wala na appeal ang instruction. Did you add an instruction? Wala niyo mo na-click ang quad, ma'am. Kini, display description on course page. So, manatutumanan, if we are trying to put in some instruction in the description, let us always remember kung ganahan ba ka nga makita ang instruction on the front page. Kung ganahan ka nga makita ang page, then okay ra kaayo nga i-click ng display description pero kining ka ma'am kay ang nahitabuan ni kay mo open pa man siya lain nga page, so okay ra po ni siya ngingani, no, nga dili i-display sa tubangan. So you have two options. Kung naka-embed ka, pwede dili mo i-display course. Okay? Kung naka-embed ka. Pero kung naka-in-pop up ka, wala na may laing way nga makita gud na siya. So please make sure nga atong i-add or atong i-click ang kining display description on course page. Pero kung embed siya, pwede dili ra. Kinig open sa link mo, adto pa mo na siya sa laing page niya, makita nimo ang description. Pero kung in pop-up ang gamiton, please always click this or else mahog ni siya nga way gamit. So nakuha na to. So mo na yung murag technique nga atong timan-an. Again, kung in pop-up, make sure nga naka-check ang display course description. Pero kung embed, pwede rag dili kay after clicking on last week 1, ma-access man nako ang description on the next page, such as this one. All right. All right. Napailay mo pa check. Ganahan ko sa imong kuan, ma'am. Cover photo sa imong course. Any other? Let me check with Pilar. Pilar. Wow, daghan na kasi ma'am. Oh, nag-una-una na siya sa link. Very good, ma'am. Ay, money ganina, no? What are sets? Oh, diato siya sa YouTube. Okay. Right. Pero ako na i-cover later. Kaya ang gigamit ni ma'am kay link, doon na siya murag suggestion ana actually kung doon na tayo video sa YouTube. Pwede na nato siya i-embed kaya para ato na siya makita on the same page without going to YouTube. All right. But let's go ahead and move on then so that we'll be able to cover it. No? Okay. Now, the next one is page actually. No, unsa man ning page? The page is, say for example, ang gusto nimo kay inig-open ana niya kay mura ba to siya hyperdoc. Unsa man ang hyperdoc? Hyperdoc is a document that contains links to some of the resources or even you would like nga inig-open ana nga page kay mugawas dito ang video or naka dito nagstorya or do na kay YouTube video nga gusto nimo i-share. All right. So how do you do that? Let's go ahead and start with page first. So click on add an activity or resource and then look for page. Yeah, maingon ka og kanang last week 1 additional resources. So for example, you have this kind of content. All right. Yeah, pagkahuman, pwede na pagkamubutang description, pero considering it's a page, it's a different page, pwede wala na kayo butang diha actually. Or pwede pong naa, pero you don't need to click this. Okay, that's on a different page. Di man siya in pop-up, page man eh. And then for the content, you can go ahead and say, here are some of the resources that you could check out. Butang ta, nag-itemize ka. Ngayon ko programming kita na ko nakita nga kanang nga ni programming Java. Na ko murag resource nga nakita nga buta ta learn programming Java. So what I can do is I can just go ahead and copy the link and then put that there, no? And then unsa pay laing sources sa man basta kana sa lang. Then I realized nga murag nindot siguro kung dunay video ako i-add. Okay. Ibutan ta na kay nakita sa YouTube nga related to programming Java for my subject. Alright, say for example here, introduction to Java. So what I can do is I can just go ahead and copy that link. Alright, and I come here. Unya, ganahan man ko nga ari mo display ang video para dili bitaw mo click ang akong estudyante og laing lugar. You can also watch the video below. Okay. So what I can do is I can just go ahead and click on insert or edit, no, insert lang na siya. And then go ahead and click on video and then paste the resource URL and you can decide the size. Ibutang tag 300 lang. Anya si Moodle na ibahala sa height. Okay. So what you will see here is that there is a thumbnail for the video from YouTube. Okay, and you can just go ahead and save that. So how does it look like? When I click here, so lang ako sa estudyante para it would make some sense. Refresh, and then I'll click here. Okay, and then what I will notice is that, oh, there's a link towards a different blah, blah, blah. Then you can also watch. So from here, I can just go ahead and play. I don't need to go to YouTube or dili kinahanglan nga ma-redirect siya to YouTube para lang makita ang video. Even from this page, I can go ahead and let my student access the video para control ba kay what if imo siya i-redirect sa YouTube, may possibility nga masaag pa siya dito ug lain nga content, no? But in here, since the link is encoded, pwede ra kayo. Yami nga gamay ra man kaayo. Actually, mo full screen man na siya kung i-full screen na sa bata. Or if you don't want that nga gamay siya tan-awon, you could always modify, edit settings again, and then select the video, then i-click diri dapita para ma-modify nimo, display options, pwede na mo siya 500. Okay. Insert media, so nidako-dako na siya, and then save and return to course. All right. And then as a student, let me re-access it again. It becomes bigger. All right. And then I can go ahead and play that. But then again, I can still go ahead and expand. Okay. So that's how you do page. There's a lot of things that you can do with page. You can go ahead and add instruction ba kung ganahan ka. You could also go ahead and add additional content, or ganahan ko nga doon makita nga picture akong estudyante, pwede ra kay ano. Again, everything that you can see here can be added. Pwede ra kayo. Ganahan ka nga na picture, so insert na ng picture, pwede ka mag-upload. So, ibutang ta na picture diri dapita nga gusto nimo i-add, ibutang na siya, open, upload. Kay page man na siya, pwede siya daghan. Okay, no? Kung may error na siya, example ka na, an image must have a description, pwede ka mag-type diha, or kung kapuyan ka, pwede ka mo click, oh, this image is decorative only. Alright? And then save image. What you will notice now is I have a video, I also have an image. So when I save that, and then ato ko sa estudyante, I already see the video and this one. Nya kung ganahan pa jud ka nga magbutang pa jud ka og kanang video nimo, no? Pwede na po ka mag-record. No, pwede na po ka mag-record diri dapita. There, pero di lang ko mag-record kay dugan na po siya ma-upload, pero pwede kayo. Everything that you can see here are usable. Basta makita na ni mo dapita, you could always add that to the resource type that you wanted to be added to your course site. Okay. So do we have any questions about how to add a page? So kung atong tadawon, a page is aside from the course site that you have, you're like creating another page that would contain information, customized information for that matter. You could add links, you could add text, you could add pictures, and then you can even add YouTube nga videos, no? Para dito na nga makita. You could also try to actually add other videos from Vimeo. I've tried Vimeo, it's okay. Dailymotion is also okay, but I haven't tried with the others. But so long as it's kind of public nga video wherein it can play even without logging in, there shouldn't be any issue. It would still play. So do we have any questions about adding pages? Are you finding it exciting? No, not kayo siya kung magamit siya in an actual class setting, because not only are you limited with the contents that you can provide, but you could also try to make it open and try to make it flexible, and you can really adhere to the what we call as multiple intelligences, because for those good at reading, you can just provide a handout. And then for those who are not good at reading and just good at watching videos, you can just instruct them to watch the video. Or for those who are really good at just doing abstract whatever, then you can have them, let them do their thing using their multiple intelligences nga category. So do we have any questions about how we add a page? Again, for you to be able to create a page, just click on add an activity or resource, and then from this gitawag na to nga window, natin makita nga page diha dapita, and then put in the title, the description, pwede ra gihapon. Again, unsa na description, mao na murag mo gawas sa tubangan kung imo i-click si display. a description on the course page. And then kining page content mao gini siya ang mo display ni click nimo sa link. Right? So I hope nasabtan na siya. Again, atong balikon unsaon to pag-insert og video sa YouTube. YouTube kuno na. Okay. All you have to do is click here, now insert, and then go to video. Ayun ang link, kung link na siya, mugawas na as link. Right? If I have another link here that I wish to be added, I can just go ahead and copy that and then paste that there. I'll change the display option to about 500 to make it uniform, insert media. So if you could notice here, I already have 2 videos added to the page. So when I save and return, I'll click on this one. Then I can expect that I have 2 videos already. Intro to video, blah, blah, blah. And then I have the picture that I initially added. Okay. Questions, clarifications, challenges? Hello? Wala? Okay ra? Are we following? We hilom kayo mo. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How was it, sir? Was it easy? Easy ra no? All we have to do is really, kuan lang yun. Ato lang yun
Madarag smile, sir.
Okay. Ang ato lang yung tanawon diya dapita is
Sir,
unsa nga
return na
content.
naman yung LMS. Wapat yung kasunod.
Ha?
Okay, sir.
Ja.
Unsa Ma'am Deb?
Padung na ko mo return. Sinta na ko LMS. Bawo.
All right. So that was for kabata pa ni Ma'am Char. Sige, that was for the gitawag na nga page. Okay. All right. So muna page na to, no? Then let's go ahead and move on to the URL. Unsa man yung URL? How do we use URL? So say for example, aside from the fact that you have created a page, but you would like the URL to be kind of embedded. Unsa man embedded? Kana bitaw dili na bitaw sila ni-click na moadto paglain nga website. Ganahan ka nga ni-click nila kay makita na nimo dito ang content ana nga website. Kaya pwede mo ka mag-link-link. Example, kini, link pa ni siya. Pero ni-click na ko, ana kay mo open man na siya. So kung bata ka nga nagtinanga ka, nawa na ko, asa naman to kung LMS programmist naman ni. Okay. So what you can do is you can go ahead and store that in a different resource. So add an activity resource, and then you can go ahead and use URL. Okay. So, unsa may nasa URL? So, ibutang tao kanang journal last week 1 related journal. Ibutang ta doon na kay nakita nga journal entry nya ganahan ka nga i-share. Ibuta ta programming Java journal. Okay, butang tag ka na lang, for example. Yan ako may taglain pa. Okay, so what I can do is I can go ahead and get the link, no? Just copy the link. And then from here, I can go ahead and click on, or just paste. Okay, and then I can add a description. You can just go ahead and say access the link provided for additional reference. Okay, and then I'll click that check para ma-display. And then akong gusto is in pop-up siya. Unsa may puro mag in pop-up. So when I try to save it, mo ni nahitabo no. So kung estudyante ko, mobalik ko sa course site, na si last one, week 1 related journal. So when I click that, there is an in pop-up, and what's going to happen is that katong contents nga ako nakita ganhina diri is already shown in here without me going anywhere else. Right? Diba? So, ingana siya ka, murag nindot if you're gonna go ahead and use the URL. But let me go ahead and take a look. What's may porma kung ako siyang i-embed? Na ba siya inindot nga porma kung ako siya i-embed? Let's go ahead and find out. So in pop-up na siya, ako siyang i-embed. Kung ang imong gamiton is automatic, ang mahitabuan na is iyang i-replace ang tibok page. And we don't want that to happen kay masagang bata, di ba? So you can just go ahead and save and return to course. And then let's go ahead and take a look kung saan mahitabo kung naka-embed siya. Kung naka-embed siya, ano yung mahitabo, no? Ang website kay naa sa another website. Or ang website kay naa sa imuhang Moodle. So, what ni gawas ang bata? So, ang bata, igo na lang siya scroll. So, mo na yung naka-nindot. That's the reason why if I were to choose a Moodle compared to Google Classroom, to Teams, actually, ang Teams, nindot po siya in terms of integration. Pero it's just that I've been using Moodle ever since. So that's the reason why I'm kind of biased. Why I'm gonna select Moodle in terms of using it as a platform. Because there's just a lot of features that I can make use of without the need for my students to leave the LMS, in which they can just go ahead and work the researches here using the same page. Okay, in here, pwede mo sila mag-search niya same lagi hapon, wala ni biya, no? So mura siya gi-integrate ra ba? It's just right here. And that's the good thing about it. So that is URL. All right. Again, for URL, you have the option to go ahead and do it embed or in pop-up. You also have the option to do automatic or open, but those two options would open it on the same page. So meaning, mawani ni siya, niya mupuli ni. Yeah, we don't want that to happen kay masagang bata, di ba? So, para dili masagang bata, you can either select in pop-up or embed. Kaya nga naman, kung kanatong buhaton, kung in pop-up niya siya, na rin window nga mugawas, mo pop-up na siya. Pero kung ikag embed, ang mahitabuan na kay, naara po siya sa the same page without leaving. So, that's the beauty of URL. So, we have learned file already, we have learned page, we have learned URL. All right, do we have any questions so far with URL before we move on to the last type of resource that we're going to go ahead and cover? Is everyone following as to how to use URL? No? Ato rin yung timanan eh, dili kay ta, iniktan na ba ito na itong murag bago siya, dili kay ta murag ma-shock. Instead, if it's kind of new to you, just go ahead and read on the description and it should eventually lead you to be able to undertake what you're planning, or kung if it's a good thing for your site or if it's not. Para yun na ninyo. All right. So that's how you add resources, particularly file, page, URL, and label. Any questions? Clarification? Or violent reaction? May paningog bitaw mo? Are we following? Naka-follow ra or pas-pas ra? Hello? Ma'am Deb, okay ra ka na, Ma'am Deb? Pwede mo, bugin lang mo. Abi pala ako ng usa diri. Para maka-feel pag kubangan ako ikauban. Okay. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sa libuhan ko, sir. Tayo sa sir.
Sige.
Nag-GGP pa, sir.
Right.
GGP.
Embed, no?
Pumanan, GGB, oy.
Gulo-gulong buhay.
Ito ko ka-embed.
Kini si hilong dyan, sir. At kung kay arang kagaraon ni si hilong dyan.
Okay. Pero ano to timanin ha, it doesn't mean that you have to apply everything, every week if you're conducting a class. That's just really depend on you as to which do you think is suitable for the materials that you have. So say for example, you have a learning activity sheet, it's a file with you, then you can make use of the file, diba? But if you're just gonna dwell on an external video, mo ipakita, then you can just make use of a page and then, have the YouTube link. Or kung ganahan ka nga dunay mura siya research type ang imong ipabuhat sa ilaha, then you can go ahead and make use of the link or URL so that you can just provide a website to where they can go ahead and do some searches. Ano na siya? That depends on you as to which type of resources that is suitable to your material or to your instructional material. It doesn't mean you have to cover the 4 types or the 3 types. Whichever you see fit based on the material that you have, maripilion yung mga resource. So dili kinahanglan nga ipagawas ng upat for every weekly nga lesson or delivery. Or say for example, sa LDM kay kuan naman gyud do, PDF naman gyud nga file. Then pwede ra siyang file. Pwede mo ra na gamiton. But kung si schoolhead nakakita siya dunay murag lecture about the LDM2 nga nasa YouTube, pwede po kopyaon ni schoolhead ang katong link sa YouTube, yapag man i-add sa page, right? Kay para makita ra sa mga teacher, ana. Then I'm actually challenging the school heads to use this platform because I know for a fact that every time there is a new teacher nga naa sa musulod sa tong school, I know everyone would agree with me that not all of them are oriented with their task. Not all are oriented with their gitawag na to nga expected behavior, expected task, whatever. And I'm pretty sure inigsuda na nila kay mag-orient pa ta. Mao ni ang trabahoon sa kamaestra, blah blah blah. Basahan ning kanang ethics, basahan ning DepED order, blah 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 blah. Nya pagkaman nahitabuan na is that there is no gitawag na to nga tracing or there's no follow through. So what you can do, school heads, is that you can go ahead and set up a program or professional learning development course, no, under sa inyong school. Mangutang ra mo course dito nya. Kung adto na yung i-prepare dan dito, may tag teacher orientation. Nya, unsa may nga mga topics ang gusto nimo i-undergo sa teacher. So imong ibutang dito ang mga materials na by video or na by document so that ang bago nga teacher kanang pwede pong ibutangan dito mga forms para ma-familiarize na siya sa mga forms. Diba? Kaya para ang teacher, bago siya, dili kinahanglan nga mag-atubang mo for the orientation. You can just have her access the LMS and have the teacher go through the contents. Yeah, that's just for the resources. And then kung makakover na ta og how to do assessment, how to do a quiz, then you could also let the teacher take the quiz to see whether he or she has fully understood what he has read, and that is for assessment. So, money challenge na ko sa mga school head. Or even kung dunay re-echo and then you find it hard to deliver it yourself, then you can go ahead and create another course for that and have your teachers go through it, especially right now that we're having the kanang distance learning. So the best way to also advocate distance learning is to do distance learning in our own activities. And you can really do that. Ana. Right. So mana kung challenge sa mga school heads gana karon no. This training is not solely for classroom only. This can be used for professional development. Because I want to share with you guys. I've encountered Moodle the first time when I was still working as a call center agent. What happens is that there are updates. Doon na ni ay nagsud na mo na training. Of course na training. But kung magsugod na mig trabaho, it is very difficult nga i-pull out me for training because mawala og tao ang operation. So what the management did is they set up a Moodle class, and all we have to do is just access the Moodle course and then go through the activities and then take the assessment from there, and then that's the basis whether we pass the assessment or not, so that if we did not pass the assessment, then we can retake it, so that not until mapass na mo ang assessment, then that's the time that will be issued a certificate of compliance or participation, so on and so forth. So that same thing can be done in our level so that we can have a very good system in place already, especially if it requires asynchronous training or even for synchronous training for that matter. All right. So I guess everyone was able to add the third type, which is URL. Then let's go ahead and proceed to the last one. Don't you worry, it's just so easy. No, mabura kayo ni siya. Ning ikatulo kung gisayunan mo sa file page o URL, maski na sayunan ang label. Unsa man din ang label? Label is just label, right? So meaning you can go ahead and add a label here. Kini sila kay mga links man ni sila, no? Links to resources. What happens right now is you can go ahead and create an entry specific to label, meaning text. But it is not limited to text because you can go ahead and add additional media as well. So how do we do that? We click on add an activity or resource, and then you just look for label. So here's the label. All right, and on this label, this is where you can go ahead and add ibutang tag kanang ganahan ka nga naki-text here dapita hello class. Welcome to our online class in English 7. Okay, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, and then save and return to course. So what you will notice is that there is an additional text here, right? Tupong na siya sa diri dapita, which is added. Right now, murag bati kay siya tanawon. That's because that's facing the teacher. But if I'll go ahead and go to the student, ingani ang porma. Basta mura kag maka-add og text. But aside from that, yung siya batiam ni kay wa man siya na-align. What you can do is you can just do edit and then move right para mo tupong-tupong siya. No? You have control alignment as well. All right. Now, is it the only text that you can add? Definitely no. There's still a lot of things that you can go ahead and actually add. You can add text. You could also add pictures. You could also add videos saved or existing from YouTube. You could also record your audio or record your video. So, pwede ra kaayo nimo. So, ato itry ang video. Mag-record kong video, start recording. Let me just go ahead and turn off my camera in MS Teams. All right. Maura na akong trabaho. Igor ako mo babay-babay, and then stop recording para dili kay bugat. And then attach recording para madali og ka-upload. All right, let's just wait. It's already 48%, 54, 60, 70. Okay, all right, it's there already. No? Okay, so let me go ahead and try to save it. Let's take a look. Kasi purma ni sa estudyante na end. Refresh. Then, if you could notice, there's already a video. I can just go ahead and okay. So nga na. All right. So ang kalahian na sa label is that it's not like with page URL or file wherein you have the option to just click and then you'll be able to see the contents on the next page, or if it's embedded, or a page pop up if it's in pop up. For label, it will be shown. No, it will be shown on the front of your course site. Makita siya sa course site. That's really just the purpose of label. And aside from that, aside from the recorded video, kung ganahan pa jud ka nga you have ako sa siya diliton. Kung ganahan ka nga nalabo ka YouTube video diri dapita, you can just go ahead and copy the link and then click here, insert video, source, display, that's 500, and then insert media, and then save and return to course. Let me refresh. It has been replaced with a video already. So on the course site, I'm able to add the video already. Okay. All right. For a moment. Okay, so that's how you basically make use of the label. Again, the difference of the label is that the label shows up on the front facing of the course site, the front page of the course site. But for the rest, such as the file page URL, you can set it to embed or in pop-up. So the only thing that's going to show up on the front are just the description and the link. But for label, it's all the contents that you can actually see. Pero depende ra po na nimo ha, you need to understand that if you're gonna use a lot of ibutang diri dapita mo bugat man imong page diri dapita, so as much as possible we only make use of this if it's a requirement. Kano sa man ang requirement, so say for example bago pa nagsugod ng klase nya ganahan ka nga doon na kay murag introductory video, so pwede ra man ako siya nga ako na siya ibutang sa kinaunhan kay para makita, no? Mamumove ra man na siya. Example, introductory video na siya, nag-welcome ka, pwede ra kayo. I can go ahead and show you an example of the thing done by one of our teachers, who is a colleague of mine. Layang i-delete, wait. Alright, yung gibuhat diri is iyang gilink, pero he created a video. Pwede yung taton niya buhaton diri is pwede niya i-label kaya para makita dayon ang iyang video para sa mga estudyante. Is like introducing himself to the class. Yeah, so it's like that. You can go ahead. Murag mo to siya best opportunity to be able to add a video on the front page. So pero dili kinahanglan nga naon kay ngano mapuno siya kung imo ibutang sa front page. This is the reason why you have the options such as file, page, URL to do those tasks for you. So those are examples of the resources that you can actually make use of in Moodle. So we have file, page, URL, and label. Do we have any questions? Clarifications? Wala? Okay. Did everyone follow? Nabay murag na awahi or still trying to catch up? Basta no sayo na jud kay na siya. Ayan lang mo murag ka disheartened pag murag hala daghan lagi to. Ay mo pagunahon naging ana. Ang ato argument is that we know that there exists a file, page, URL, and label. And all we have to do is just always click, no? Just click on add an activity or resource, and then from there you can go ahead and see those items, and all you have to do is just select and then populate the requirement that is being required of, and you should all be good. Okay, so just like that. Do we have any questions, clarifications? Hello? Hi. Hi, Pilar. Right, let me go ahead and try to visit to some of your mga kaubans here. Pilar. All right, so si ma'am, daghan na kaay na add. There. Oy, ako man din ka batch. Oy. Okay.
Wala na yung pinang video sir kay trial na.
Okay, okay na jud kayo ma'am. Okay, so nakapaspas kay naka-update si ma'am no matanaw ta sa uban be. San Isidro. Right, sets. There. Okay. Sa i-link ni ma'am. URL. Okay. Murag automatic ni mo URL, ma'am, no? You could do embed, no? Pwede siya i-embed. Kaya para kung imo siya i-embed, automatic makita. Naka-automatic man siya. So kung embed siya, ma'am, murag mas nindot siya in a way, kaya ni-click ni mo sa sets. Ready as part of the Just have to wait for them. Murag na ba? Dili na bitaw siya masaag ang bata. It's as if it's part of Moodle already. Kay tendency for just links kay ang mga bata masaag kay example here. Pakitunta mo unsay difference ha. Kung naka-automatic na siya ihang gitawag na to nga appearance, mo ni ang mahitabo karon. So sets, and then mo click na pud siya. Titanawa nawala na ang Moodle no. Nawala na ang Moodle. So ang bata huy nawala gyud Moodle. Nanabot ni ko sa Math S-File sa pagbalik. So mo na yung murag tendency especially for those learners nga murag bag-o pa. So mo na nga let's try to kind of adjust so that dili siya magkasaag-saag, then let's just go ahead and change it to kuan kanang embed baron or in pop-up, that's up to you. Pwede raman. Ang in pop-up kay murag doon mo gawas nga window. Kung embed kay iyang i-embed mismo sa page. Alright, so pwede ra na siya there. Press ana. So inikahuman na niya load na siya iframe. So ang bata nagyapon siya sa LMS and be able to navigate the context. Okay. Alright. Any other samples nga ganahan nga to i-check so that we can provide gitawag na to nga suggestions or possible improvement which can be done? Hindi, alam nyo ka, wow, kay this is a learning opportunity man. Mas nindot man pod nga as early as now nga makuanta, ay, ingani day murag paagi nga nindot, no? Kay when we're creating our learning resources, we're not only thinking of ourselves man nga we know how to navigate. We would also need to take note that there are some students nga bisan pag high school na sila kay dili bitaw gyapon sila adept in terms of learning. Okay. Ay, nibalik din ko. Any other samples nga ganahan akong tanawon? Buena suerte. Sige, pag-populate si ma'am. Okay. Pero itong tanawon kung iyahang file is naka-download ba or kuan. Okay. Automatic na yung magigamit, ma'am. No, wag gyapon siya sa LMS, no? Mura bitaw siya kuan, kabante mo ng DO, in-click nimo sa memo kay mawala ka sa DO, mo open na siya sa nga file. So, as much as possible, we set that to again, edit settings and then appearance. It's either that we do the embed kay para dili siya mahawa sa page. So when we click, there the page is there, no? Within gihapon siya. Okay, so again, my suggestion is that if you're going to be using page, if you're going to be using URL, if you're going to be using file, my suggestion for the appearance is always kuan kanang in pop-up or embed. Nga naman, dili masag ang bata kay dili man siya mohawa sa page. Okay. Pero pwede ra gyud na siya yung it's just that again we need to get back to basics wherein we need to consider that there are students who are kind of not adept with technology. Nya kung mo-click siya sa link, nya nawa siya sa page, there's a possibility nga may siya, uy, nawa lagi ko, asa na to? Diba? Nya, munawag na po nimo, ma'am, nawa lagi ang page. Diba? Muraging ana. Okay. Any other na pa'y ganahan nga magpatanaw silang output? Lumbay. Okay, naka-embed na ka, ma'am. Okay, great. Alright. Panihog sa Mobi, palihog lang. Panihog mo so that I can address your questions. Hilom kayo mo. Alright. Ma'am Deb. Ma'am Debbie.
Sir, unsa man?
Walay question sila? Masin mauwaw sila ba?
Wala man sir kay di aman sila na ako mo question unja daghan man po ko ika-answer.
Wow.
Okay, diha man po nakatabang man po kog duha pero uploading ra pog video.
Okay.
Sir, ang mas right sir nakuha na nimo kagawasan.
Kagawasan? Kagawasan? Ano pala kitang sa
Istaka IS.
Istaka? IS na?
Oo, nakoy gihatag nimo sa imong Facebook.
Ah, sa Facebook.
Human na mag-Aurora good.
Asa mag-send? Oo, receive. Or friends ba ta sa Facebook?
Ang Istaka FB ato sa imong kuan.
Is this
Di ba
spelling
na
sa
mabasa?
Istaka ng ES or IS? Sorry.
Oh, Istaka IS. Oh, International School.
Istaka IS. Ana, Istaka.
Istaka 303. Okay.
Nga na?
Thank you, sir.
30.
Zero. Unsa to yung gisin ana day? Basa sa nang Istaka harato. Namang good.
O amang gusto siguro kaya ako man nagisubay. Ang chat.
Namang good. Sir, akong gikuan. DepED si Sir Mangkuan. Diya, sir. Unsa man ni basa. 501583. Muna ilang school ID?
501583.
Yes,
Murag
sir.
po ang lagi. Ano, mura dili 7?
501583. 6 months. Oh, it's 8 man ang
3028876 man dapat. Ay, 30288. Sakto ra di ay. Sakto ra di ay. Ano mura?
Unom ra sir, kuwang.
3028887. Ano mura kada mo ah? Ana sa lang na. Ato na i-modify later or ingo i-modify later. Kinsa may kanang manager ani Ma'am Deb?
Si Drita Bernanke.
Bernante?
Oh, yes sir, si Drita Bernanke.
Ana ma'am na, ada ma'am. Okay na. Ma'am
Thank
Deb,
you,
okay
sir.
na. Welcome, ma'am. Alright, Ma'am Deb, unsa man ni Ma'am Deb, ato ning tiwason ang other topic or mo pause alang ta para maka di sila ma-stress. Okay, actually, based on the training matrix, I'm done with the kanang the 2 sessions for today. The resource tools of the DepED LMS platform. Supposedly, the assessment tools and the certificate generator kay tomorrow man. Unsa may decision ni ma'am mo cover ta or ugma na lang? Ma'am Deb? Nawa si Ma'am Deb. What's the decision of the body? Shall we cover assessment up until 5 or we shall continue doing this tomorrow?
Unsa, sir?
Kuan sir, I'm done with the session 1 and 2. Kini nasa akong screen karon. I'm done with session 1 and 2. So, murag nagtrabaho mo pud mo murag alongside with my demonstration. So, pwede na ta mo cover sa session 3. Pero that's up to you. Shall we stick to schedule or kanang mo pause sa lang ta? Ay, marami na sila. Stick to schedule or mo discuss na ko karong assessment tools? What's the pleasure of the body? I'm done with session 1 and 2, originally plotted for today, but we still have an hour and 20 minutes, so we can use this to discuss session number 3.
Padayon na lang daw kuno karon sir para ugma gamay na matiwas.
Okay, para mag-half day na lang to, ugma.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. So,
Okay naman ani mo, sir.
okay na, sir.
Okay, sir. Salamat.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Para kasara pong recording, no? Okay. Again, this is recorded, and aside from the recording, I went ahead and actually took the prerogative of kanang getting a tutorial in YouTube nga akong i-add sa atong portal. Napo diri ang file, page, URL, resources. So if you missed that, you have two options, either to watch the YouTube video or to watch the recording for today. That's what we will go ahead and basically cover. Now, all the things that we have been doing, such as file, page, URL, and label, are basically resources. But it doesn't mean these are the only resources that we can actually use. But we cannot cover that in a single setting. Because kung mo click ta og add an activity or resource, if you can notice, there's actually a lot. Book is a resource. External tool is a resource, folder is a resource, glossary is a resource, HP5, IMS, lesson, scorn package, wiki are but resources, no? Ato na siya i-classify. Mo na yung mga resources, meaning mo na itong pwede magamit if we wanted to go ahead and deliver material for our learners. But then again, we're just limited to file, label, and page, as well as URL. So if you want to go ahead and explore your understanding, you can go ahead and play around with this. Pwede naman na ito ma-delete. By the way, how do we delete? For you to delete, if you could notice, there's an edit here. Just click on delete, no? Edit, and then delete mo. Ragin na siya. Or kung ganahan po ka nga imo nang i-hide, kung imo nang i-hide, din na siya makita sa estudyante. So kung ako nang i-hide, ikaw rin makakita, pero ang estudyante dili. So if I'll try to refresh that, right, nawa siya, no? Nawa ang related journal, only the resources. That's because it's hidden. Pero kung ako na siya i-show, ako na i-refresh, diha pa siya magawas. Okay. So those are the things that you could do, no? Sa Google Chrome, wala siya yung ani. So meaning, makita, ginumutanan imong gibuhat. So kung gusto ka nga mag-advance ka, magbutang kag learning activity sheets for week 1 to week 8, makita tanan sa estudyante. But in Moodle, you can go ahead and hide, no, mga materials. So bisan pag advance kay kapag upload, it doesn't mean nga makita na sa estudyante right then and there, because you have the option to hide it. And as we go along with our discussion, go ahead and cover a topic that would allow us to automatically, kaya itong automatic nga onya rin makita at this particular date or at this particular condition. So that's how you show and hide, and you could also delete. So pwede ka mang delete. Example, you don't want the journal, I can go ahead and have that deleted. Yes, and then that's going to be deleted. If I were to refresh that, it's no longer there because that has been deleted. Right? Basta kung mag-add ta, add. Kung mag-edit or mag-modify ka or kung mag-delete, ari ka sa edit. By clicking on it, this is how you modify. This is how you delete. This is how you hide. All right. Now, let's go ahead and proceed to the other type of feature or tool that we can make use of for Moodle. There was a question a while ago. Kung mo submit ang estudyante, makita ba sa laing estudyante? All right. If it's going to be an activity and that requires an output, then yes, they won't be able to see the submission, or these learners will not be able to see the outputs of the other learners. But the teacher, of course, will be able to see all the outputs. So say, for example, in my learning activity sheets, I have activities 1. I have here activity 1, activity 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So all of which requires writing. So I can just go ahead and say nga, ay, ang inyuhang activity 1 to 4 isuwat lang sa bond paper, no? Nga ikaw man yung suwat sa bond paper, or pwede inyong i-type o kanang Microsoft Word ay inyong mga answers. Right? Nya pag man save it, that covers activity 1 to 4 already. Save it and then upload it here. Question is, how do we allow our students to upload something? No? Kung saan man siya nga maka-upload siya something para as a teacher, you will be able to see the submission. Right. You can access that by clicking on add an activity or resource. I-click ra na siya. And then from here, you should be able to see assignment. So there's assignment. I-click na si assignment. Okay, assignment mo na. You're letting her do something. Or you're letting the student do something. All right. So that's assignment. Right. By the way, for the activity, we'll only do the forum. Assignment lang kinang-una ko. Assignment. Forum. And then quiz. Mora na. Tulora. Alright. So, ibutang ta, this is new assignment for week 1. So, mingon ka og kanang submission bin, mo ni submitanan, no? Submission bin, week 1, activity 1 to 4 submission bin. So, you provide the instruction. Write your answers on, or encode your answers on an MS Word document and save it after your first name and last name. Yeah, yung kumuta kag sample e.g. that's fernandoenad.docx. Once done, upload your file in the submission bin provided below. Okay. Submission. All right. So that's the description. And ganahan ka butang na mugawas na siya sa display, pwede ra po kaayo. Or if you have additional instruction, you can go ahead and create a PDF file and then have that attached here, but it's not required. And then about this, you can go ahead and set, say for example, this is for week 1, that's October 5. So, ibutang ta, I would only allow submission, kaya para magbasa yun mo, I will allow submission from October 8. And then the due date is October 9. Okay. So, pwede na siya. So, unsa may mahitabuan na? Okay. Ang mahitabuan na is that, kung October 8 akong i-schedule nga allow submission from as a student, I won't be able to upload. Kaya wala pa may October 8, for example. Pero kung October 8 na, mo open na ang upload link, and then the due date, kung mayon kong due date, pasabutan na, dili na ko ka-upload kung maabto na due date. Nga naman, late naman siya. Okay, due date naman na siya. Then you can go ahead and set it to 23:59, that's 11:59 p.m. Right, kung ganahan ka nga doon ay grace period, that's the purpose of the cutoff. So say for example, ano kay 1 day grace period, then you can go ahead and put that to October 10. Murag doon na kay 1 day nga grace period. Alright? Yeah, set gihapon 23:59. The reminder to grade by is not really necessary. Now, because your instruction says that you encode your answers on an MS Word document and save after your first name and last name, then you would need to specify that you're only allowing a file submission. Alright? Kung may kag-online text kay, i-type ra magunya directly sa computer, no? Pero kini kay file submission ba mo submit siya, and then you can limit it to 1 file only, but that's up to you. Kung ganahan ka nga file siya i-upload, that's up to you, pero samok. Then you can just go ahead and set it to file submissions, and then the maximum limit naranan nimo kung imo ba na pagamian, kay document naman pwede ra siguro 5. And then accepted file types. Niingon maka nga MS Word. So you need to make sure that you're streamlining it, no? So document file, i-expand na siya. Then you're only allowing the OCX. So meaning, if ang estudyante kina-open o nag-submit og picture, dili dawaton. Kaya yung dawaton kay document naman. Alright. And then, the next thing that you can do is you can go ahead and provide a grade. The maximum grade for this one is 20 points. Pasag di sila ng grade method grading category. And then you can go ahead and save and return to course. Okay. So nito po ni karon is do na submission bin. So imong last one dere, pwede na ka magbutaw instruction. Katon ko ganing read through blah 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 before performing the activity. For your activity, you can go ahead and upload it through the week 1 activity 1-4 submission bin. So that ang bata ay narang submission bin, makikita siya sa instruction I need to encode my answers in an MS Word document and save after my first name and last name. Then once done, upload. So, once may forma ni sa estudyante nga end. So, let me go ahead and refresh. So, makita na ko nga na instruction. Okay? But when I click on it here, what's going to happen is it says assignment is overdue by 26 days, 15 hours. So, meaning I can no longer upload. However, if say for example, back open na ko siya gihatag, and then the due date is unsa man ron 6 lang November mo na muhang due date, yeah, wala na ka nag-cut off for example. So let me go ahead and take a look unsay porma ana niya sa students end. So let me refresh. So what's going to happen is it says time remaining 1 day and 8 hours. So I can go ahead and do submissions. Say for example, I have here a document, blah, 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 save that. And then say, for example, I'll save that, that's Fernando. Okay, my example, Fernando Enad. Okay, so as a student, I can go ahead and click on add submission. All right, so that I can upload my output, no? So I can drag and drop, or I can just go ahead and locate where the file is. So here, and then open it, upload this file, and then save changes. All right, and then it's already submitted for grading. All right, so makita pag yun nimo nya kung ganahan ka nga mo love letter sa maestro, pwede. Okay, and then save comment. Now, as a teacher, what's may pwede mahitabuan na karon? As a teacher, when you go to week 1 activity 1 submission bin, of course, you will not be allowed to submit because you're the teacher. But what you can do, you can see is that there are 2 participants because I have here Ma'am Debbie and Fernando. But aside from that, doon ay nakita nga submitted 1 and then needs grading. So there's 1 submission, pero doon ay usa nga nag-require grading. So meaning, if there are 10 students and then 10 of them submitted and I already have checked 8, then ang magawas rin sa needs grading is only 2. Okay, so how do I grade? I just need to click on grade. And then I can go ahead and download their submission. Say, for example, here, I can download it and be able to check on the submission of Fernando Enad. That's the submission. And then I can get back here and then provide my grade. Ibutang tag, your grade is 15 out of 20. Then you can comment, very good. But you can work on blah, blah, blah. There, and then save changes. So once may mahitabuan na, if I am the student, if I'll refresh now, what I will notice is that it would say it's already graded, right? And if I go down, I would be able to see that the score that's provided to me by my teacher is 15 over 20, and that there's a feedback comment, very good, but you can work on. So despite the class being gitawag na to nga in a distance mode, what actually happens here is that you can still go ahead and create a connection to your learners going through feedback. And that's because of the activity style or content that you can make use of. Question, would I have, as a student, would I have access to the rest of the submission? Obviously, no. You are the only one who's capable of watching or seeing your output. The rest of the students won't be able to, but the teachers or the managers would be able to see that because they're on the upper hierarchy. Okay, so ingana lang gina siya ka simple. Karon needs grading 0. Okay, wala na may ni submit nga bag-o. So that is weekly activity. That's the activity nga type of content. So that's the purpose of the activity type of content. When you are allowing them to create a project, you know, ang among gigamit karon sa San Agustin is that because we understand that not of all of our learners have laptops. What we ask them to do is we ask them to write their answer on a sheet of paper, and then afterwards we'll instruct them to take a picture of their output. So let me go ahead and take a look. Example here, submission day 1 to 4. Grade 7 na siya sa San Agustin. And then makita nimo nga there is a grade, no? There's a picture. So makita nimo ang picture nga ilang gi-submit. There, gipicturean na nila ilahang mga activity. And then the teacher can go ahead and proceed with providing a score. For example, here, thumbs up na lagi butang. Wala ba tayong comment? Pero that's 24 out of 32. So, ingana. And the good thing about that is if I am a student and I'll go to my grades, I will then be able to see the breakdown. Because tomorrow I'll go ahead and teach you as to how to kuan ba kanang categorize grades into written work and performance tasks so that Moodle will auto-compute the grade for the learner. So if I am the learner, I can easily see my standing by just looking at this one. So at this point, my accumulated grade is just 75%. Pero iagi pa na siya transmutation table. Dili pa na siya final. Right, so that is activity. So that's the purpose of activity. The purpose of activity is for you to be able to allow your learners to submit something. Dili bito siya present ng quiz wherein there is a corresponding answer. There is answer key. So week is when you are asking them to write gibutang na to kana answer to an activity where there is no definite structure, or you're asking them to basically perform a project. Unsa maron kanang pa videohon ba nimo sila nga nagtula, pwede mo instruct nila nga you record yourself doing the poem, blah 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 blah, and upload it for performance task. Or if it's PE, you can have them record themselves doing the physical fitness task and have them upload a video, or so on and so forth. So nga na, daghan. Because again, there's a lot of types, no? Dili lang kay Word, PDF, pwede video, pwede kayo na siya diri dapita. Okay, so pwede na may gamiton, and then the teacher will just be able to receive that, no? Dali niya, dili pag yun mawa, di pares kung physical submission. Pwede mo kami view all submission. So makita ni mo rin dapita, kinsara ang wala ni submit, no? So no filter. So makita nimo si Debe Lustre kay wa ni submit, si Fernan Inad kini submit. Nya dara yan submission. No. So kay bawo na ka mag-trace ka si Debe ra ginaasam ni Debe nga wa man ni submit o kanang project, no, or learning activity sheets. Nya makita nimo ang grade. So dili na ka kinahanglan magamit og class record, no? Kay na naman diri dapita, and then ugma tudluan man ta mo unsa na ta siya pagpa-compute sa final grade sa usa ka estudyante. So that's how it's going to be done for activity. Do we have any questions about activity? Clarifications for that matter? This is right time for you to ask, because I know nga especially if we're gonna really do this. Example sa school head, di ba dunay learning or dunay gitawag na to nga activity outputs from our teachers? Then we can go ahead and set up an activity like that and let our teachers upload their outputs so that you as the principal can just go ahead and take a look at their outputs. Pwede lang po di ka mo grade, no? That's up to you na should you wish to go ahead and put in a grade. So on and so forth. Okay. Do we have any question? Clarification? Hilom lagi. Nabatay pangutana, or did we like the ability to be able to let our learners upload output?
Okay, sir.
Nakapas, rabi, sir.
Yes. So, nindot siya, sir, no?
Oh,
Okay,
nindot.
everything is just there.
Nindot, sir, kaya nakamao-mao may gamay.
Ay, gamay dako.
Yeah, Ma'am Deb. Ma'am Deb.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Ma'am Deb, ang nahita pag ipagidaan ni Ma'am Deb, kato ba itong i-show na mo sa kuan sa web dev nga training nato katong dunay P2P. Pwede ni siya ibutang atong P2P, ma'am. So ang mga bata mo ra sa barangay niya mo log in kay kining Moodle kay pwede mo ni siya local, ma'am. Di mo ni kinahanglan internet.
Oh, pwede ra, sir.
Sige lang, ma'am.
Very
Kay
good.
I'll have another training session for the secondary ICTs related to it kay para kay murag kanang gamit jugay po ni sa secondary karon especially nga or even sa elementary. Kaya pwede man nga inyong module din lang kinag i-print, ibutang na lang diri, no? And then the learners can just go ahead and access using their phones or even using their laptops. Kay kining Moodle doon na siya app, na ni Moodle app nga nasa Play Store. Unya, pwede ni nga adto na mag-open ang mga bata actually. Dili na sila kinahanglan nga mag adto o Google Chrome. Pwede ditso na siya. So that's about it for activity. So again, how to add activity? Just click on add an activity or resource. Then assignment. Assignment itong pilion. And then from there, just go ahead and put in the title, the description. The description should be your instruction. And then specify what type, no? Unsa nga type ang imo i-allow. O unsa nga type ang imo i-allow pag-upload. Kanus ang mo allow mo submit. Kanus ang due date. Kanus ang cut-off. Cut-off is extension or grace period. Pero kung ganahan kang online text na siya, pakitunta mo siya puro mas online text. Kung online text na siya, this is what's going to happen. Test. Okay. Kung online test na siya, unsay mahitabo, no? Kung ari ko sa estudyante nga end. Okay, unsay porma na niya. Alright. Ang mahitabo ana is add submission. This na siya type siyang to blah 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 blah. So pwede ra po na siya. So you have option to do the file upload wherein they will be using a different file for their answer, or if you wish them to just go ahead and directly answer on the portal or on the window, then you can just go ahead and make that as online text. So depende na nimo. Okay. Pero kung kuan na nimo kung ibutang ta ang answer sa mga bata does not require illustration, just words, then you can just go ahead and see online text. Nga naman unsa man kanindot ana? Ang nakanindot ana is that kung mag-check na ka, dili para sa tong usa nga imo pa i-download, no? Makita nimo dito. So, say for example, mo submit ang bata, right? Mo submit ang bata as a teacher, when you check it, you don't have to download. Just grade and then you makita naman nimo ang answer. Blah 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 20 words. Pila may grado ana 20 or 50 baron. Save changes. So mao po rin nakanindot. So but basically that's up to you as to which is your resort. But also that also depends no kung unsay type sa response nga imong gusto. What if require og drawing lahi pug kaayo imong i-text, di ba? So pwede ra pug kaayo nang imo ra nang ipa-picturean. Kay drawing baya. Picturean na alam po nung scan kay dili tanan dunay scanner. Picture na may murag common karon. Pero kung dunay scanner, okay ra jud kay na pud siya kaayo. All right. So that's how you do with activity. All right. So let me just go ahead and get back to the activity here. Let me delete this. The same thing, you can go ahead and hide and delete as well as the content. So the next thing that I'm going to go ahead and cover is what we call as the forum. Okay. Sorry, next question. There's a question from Sir Galagar. Yes, sir. Sir, pwede close good mo tingog, sir. Hinay kay sir. Or static ang microphone, sir.
Okay, sir. Kailangan pwede ba natin mag-verify whether ang particular learner that
Sir, kailangan ng audio. Wala.
Ay, sige sir, balik ka ra good sir kay. Nabay way to verify.
Sir?
Ito sir, nabay way to verify. Unsa may i-verify
Okay,
sir?
way to verify, wait, sir, ang particular learner na submit sa iyang output, dili ba ginamasukan.
Sorry jud guys sir ha, kay next story bitaw ni prolong bitaw mo sir kay mo kana as the other static on your microphone. Pwede mo i-type sir sa chat box ako mabasa. Kay mo kana as siya sir every time musulti ka sir. Sorry kayo. Yes, Pilar, naate question. Pilar Technical Vocational High School. Ma'am, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, ma'am.
Sir, applicable ba na siya? Pwede ba ta maka-type og questions? For example, kato bitong sa online text. For example, sa amo ang kuan nga math. Can we type or encode mathematical questions or formulas through online text?
Unfortunately, dili ma'am kay wala siya murag plug-in. Pero probably there's a plug-in. It's just that I haven't come across with it yet. Pero sa online text, kuha na siya as is basis. Kung unsa ray makita nimo sa text field, say for example, kasagaran na to resources kay doon naman yung text field no. Mura gyud po na siya capability sa online text. So kung maura na siya available, pero ang pwede kaya niya kay kuandas subscript ra o superscript in the meantime. Pero I'll go ahead and try to check if it has a plugin that would allow us to make use of mathematical formula. Kanisa. Moodle plugin. Murag naa pero it's not available as of the moment. Math type. Murag naa math type. Pero i-install pa po siya. Pero naa. Pero i-install pa po siya. So to answer your question, there is a way, but i-install pa po siya. I cannot do the installation now because I need to get inside the server for it to be possible because we're using Google Cloud Platform and it's so strict in terms of doing uploads for modifications and programs. Pero kung dili siya maglisod ang bata na ma'am, ay kung sa imuhang end ma'am, pwede ra po kayo imo ra man i-PDF ra nimo katong instruction ka bantay ka ato. Pwede ra man to nimo attach siya ng instruction for the label here, dire. Na may instruction. So kung doon na kay instruction nga with questions such as blah 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 in mathematical formula, save that as a PDF and then upload it here para ang estudyante will have access to that particular kuan po view. Or if you want nga or ang expected ng mga output kay doon na po yung mga mathematical formula, then kanang since it's not available yet on an online text, then what you can do is you can have the learners answer it on a piece of paper and then just take a picture and then just have them upload it via file submission. Or pwede po sa Microsoft Word because Microsoft Word allows equation or formula, pwede po sa MS Word lang, dili sa picture.
Sir, noted, sir. Thank you, sir.
How can we assure that the particular learner himself really submitted the output dili ginama sa uban? It's really a question already of kwan integrity, sir. It's really something that Moodle cannot really cater. Mao nang on my case, what I would normally do sa akong mga klase because I'm also handling online classes. What I did is at the onset of the class, I had them introduce themselves so that I'll be able to already gauge their way of how to interact, the way, the mannerism and how they talk or how they express, so that kung mahatag ko activity niya, makabantay ko nga there's a shift on how they're expressing, I can already go ahead and tell to myself that there's something fishy. And if I can sense that there is, then I can go ahead and provide another activity. Kuan na gyud siya, it boils down to kuan na gyud kanang gitawag na to nga your methodology on also how you would gitawag na to nga deliver your activities kay dito maingon ani nga gawas kung maingon ka when you're answering please turn on your webcam wa na siya problema even in UP, we could always say we can let other people answer the exercises. That's the reason why in UP, dako o gravity ang mga major exam. Kaya for major exams, doon na siya gitawag nga proctored exam wherein it's either that the teacher is watching over you while you're doing the test through webcam or they will be assigning a proctor to a particular location so that you will meet in a particular location and be able to to answer. So to answer your question, there's really no facility that would allow us to do so. But what we can do as teachers is to kind of create a baseline among our learners so that when we're creating or having them perform activities, then we can already have an idea as to their gitawag nga inclination or their murag kuan ba inclination and how they would answer. Kaya para kung makabantay ka nga murag dili maging siya, then you can go ahead and do some remediation. Murag moro dyan akong masuggest sir. Kay murag lisod, di ba? Sa modular gani, unta ka kinsa. Samot na nga sa ing-ani nga kanang technology na sa internet. Yes, Ma'am Pilar. Ma'am Pilar. Ni-raise pa ka, ma'am? Or was this part of the question a while ago?
Wala na, sir. Sorry.
Sige. Okay, I hope I was able to address your concern, Sir Galagar. There really is no gitawag na to nga particular solution because it really is a challenge right now. But there's no particular solution to really assure that it's the learner who is answering precisely because pwede man i-share sa learner yung password. Kay kini LMS, doon na may password ang learner, yung account. Pwede i-share siyang parent or pwede po nga just like in MDL, pwede po parent ang answer, diba? Murag yan na lagi na siya. Muna nga, kuan, suggested na gid ana niya is that when you're doing tasks like that, then you have to make sure nga it's kind of foolproof in a way that you're still able to deliver it nga mura maka-guarantee ka nga gikan jud sa estudyante. Amo to kung share ganina nga what I normally do is to create a baseline record mo na nga kanang introduction is really important because that's one way for you to be able to learn about your learners so that kapalupog kag unsay facing ana niya so on and so forth. Do we have any other question? So I hope I was able to somehow address your question. Okay, do we still have any other questions before we move on to the next type, which is forum? Now, if the assignment is for submission from the learners, matatag submission ha, dili siya murag kanang answer, kay doon na tayo like type an a submission project, or you had them do something and you're requiring them to perform or to submit an output, that's for the assignment. There's also what we call as forum. What is forum for? Forum is basically, it's a discussion wherein if you wish to create a discussion among your learners, then you can make use of this opportunity so that you'll be able to see your learners interacting. So for example, you're giving it a question and you would like your learners to answer the question, each of them. And then you are so strict that no repeat answer should be provided and that your answer should be based on your own understanding. And then after that, you can go ahead and try to comment to the answers of your classmates, so on and so forth. So that is how forum came to be. Say, for example, what happens here is that after or before having the test or having the assignment, I want to go ahead and ask an essay question for my learners to contemplate upon. So what I can do is I can click on add an activity or resource, and then I'll select on forum. All right. And then sa forum, doon na tayo gitawag nga two types. It's either that you ask questions and you wish them to reply to your question, pero lisod kayo ang pag-track ana niya kung kinsay source, or you can go ahead and ask question, and then it's kind of an essay. So what you can do is ask a question and then let your learners create discussion topic out of that question. So say for example, you'd say discussion forum 1. Okay. Discussion forum for week 1 topics. Okay. All right, then you can go ahead and say what is unsa man to nga topic, Java man to. What makes Java a secured programming language? Okay. Pagkaman, you can just add instruction when answering. You can put in a note. When answering, please create a new discussion topic. You may also go through the responses of your classmates and make some comments there. I can go ahead and click on a display, and then I can just go ahead and save and return to course. So unsa may nahitabo diri dapita. If I were the student, I'll access this as a student. General. Okay. So what happens here is that there is an additional discussion forum for week 1 topics. What makes Java a secure programming language? Note, when answering, please create a new discussion topic. You may also go through the responses of your classmates and make some comments. So as a student, I can just go ahead and open it up and then click on add a new discussion topic. Java is secured. Okay, mura yan naman na essay. You are trying to create an article or kind of creative. Java and the JVM. Then I can go ahead and start with my contents here, blah, 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 blah. That's my response. And then I can go ahead and post the forum. Right, so as a teacher, by the way, for the forum, it cannot be modified if it's more than 30 minutes. I can do modification if it's less than 30 minutes. So as a teacher, I can go ahead and open this up and I can see the responses of my learners, no? And then if, say for example, there's another entry here and I'm a student, I can just go ahead and open. Nya bagaman, ibutang tawa ko ganaya sa reply. I hate to disagree with your opinion. There's discussion already, and then kung ikaw a teacher, then you will be able to see the thread. So here's the original post of Fernando Enad, and here's a comment from one of his classmates. All right, and then it would entice say tawag na collaboration. Dunay discussion among them. Mura siya the mimic of the regular discussion in a regular classroom. So manay nahitabo sa discussion forum. So that from here, you can go ahead and try to gauge understanding among your learners and see if they really understood the topics presented in the learning activity sheets or in the modules. So mura gud dunay purpose dira rapita. That's just kuan ba? Kanang kind of mura siya discussion board. It's just that they're not talking, but they're gonna go ahead and writing their opinion. And then you can go ahead and add additional note here that everyone must participate because this is inclusive of the participation as part of your grading criteria. So you can always say like that so that everyone will really be forced to join. And I can share something with you. This is the normal way how UP does assessment for the weekly topics to check whether they're understanding. And I can tell you that this way of having this in a weekly basis really improve my writing skills. Kano man, mawawa man kumusuwat o sayop ang grammar o kana betong ubos-ubos na nga or murag walay unod nga topic kay mabasahan ba sa imong mga classmate. So with that, I was able to I learned how to contemplate on my answers. I learned how to provide answers in a way that ako siyang gi-review daan para ma-avoid ang mistakes. So in a way, it's not really gitawag na to developing insecurity among your learners, but it is somehow encouraging them to do better in their writing and to do better with their social interaction in the discussion board. So that is the purpose of the discussion forum. Again, the purpose is just to really allow an avenue for them to be able to interact with each other through discussion posts. So maranay purpose sa discussion forum or forum in itself. Right. Do we have any questions about forum? Clarifications about forum?
Wala, sir.
Right. Basta mo rin yung purpose na niya, no? Or you're like transitioning you're transitioning the face-to-face kind of recitation or online discussion, class discussion into the online realm. Muraging ana. Okay. And the good thing about this is kung sa face-to-face, gamay rin makashare kay limited ang time, dire, pwede mas lang magdungan og tubag, no? So you're able to really gauge understanding from each one of them. All right, and then I'll go ahead and cover the last resource, not really resource, but yeah, content that we can actually make use of. This is what we call as the assessment tools. No, and these are resource tools. Okay, now we're done with we're done with the assignment. We're done with the forum. Now let's go ahead and cover the quiz. So of course, the quiz, kaila na taan ni unsa ning quiz. Right? So the quiz is just basically a way for you to do assessment nga dili hago nimo as a teacher. Why? Because you can create answer keys. Okay. So just think of a quiz being done online. Mora gini hunaw na when you think of a quiz as an assessment tool. So you already have the submission bin, you have the discussion topic, and if you wish to go ahead and add a quiz, all you have to do is the same thing, add an activity or response, and then click on quiz. All right, so Minkag, what's the title? Title is Week 1 Quiz or Summative Test 1, Summative Test 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Then you can just go ahead and copy the description anyways. It doesn't really matter. Or pwede mo ka mabutan diri instruction, take the quiz by November 6, 2020. Ano lang. Okay. All right, and then just go ahead and say, not that should say, but scroll down, go to timing. Timing is as to when the test will open and as to when it closes. Okay, so if you want the quiz will be open for the whole week, then that's up to you. No, you can go ahead and enable it. So butang ta, this is the week, unsa mo rin nga week. This is November 2 to 6 nga week. So ganahan ka nga ang quiz mo open ra siya og Thursday. So you can go ahead and set it to November 5. Yeah, alas 12 sa tungang gabi mo open na siya dayon. And then the quiz closes on the same day, 23:59. So meaning one day ang allowance sa bata nga makatake siya sa exam. Aside from that, you can go ahead and set a time limit. Say, for example, you would like to allocate a minute for every item, and then you have 10 items. So meaning, that would be 10 minutes, kay 10 items man siya. Right? So, sa mahitabo na rirepita. So, if the student is taking the exam, and then, nag-take siya sa exam, no? Unya, paghuman, naay mo gawas nga countdown, mo 10 minutes, hantod mo 0. So, kung wala pa mahuman ang estudyante, nga na time na, what would happen is that kato iyang mga na-answeran kay mo automatic o ka-submit. And then, calculate the grade from there. It doesn't really mean nga kung natin siya time, wala na yung masubmit niya, ma-0 na siya. Kung unsa ra yang na-submit niya answer, maura to i-consider in checking. Alright, so yung ana na siya. And then when time expires, open attempts are submitted automatically. So, muna siya akong gisulti ganhina. And then you can go ahead and specify the grade. Say, for example, this exam is 1 to 10. So, the grade to pass is butatag 7. Now, ano butang mag-grade to pass? Actually, kini grade to pass, pwede na siya blanco. Alright? Pero kining grade to pass is a requirement should you wish nga kung imo bitong topic na kay topic 1, topic 2 nya di ka ganahan nga imo estudyante kay maka-proceed sa topic 2 kundi ka pasar sa post-test sa topic 1. Required ni siya kay para ugma matudloan to mo sa mo pag disable ang topic 2 kung wa siya kapasar sa exam sa topic 1. So for it to happen, this needs to be enabled. So butangan nimo grade to pass. Right. And then the attempts allowed, that depends on you kung one time ra ba or unlimited. So say for example, ganahan ka nga, this is a post-test that would gauge understanding really or mastery. So ganahan ka nga makapasar siya before siya makaproceed, then you would need to do unlimited. Pero kung ganahan ka nga bahalag di siya kapasar or dili, ganahan ka makaibaw sa iyang score at that particular exam, you can just go ahead and set it to 1. No? So kung 1 siya, inig-take niya sa test, na-submit na niya, di na siya katake balik, kay 1 naman. Kung 2, then makatake siya kaduha, so on and so forth. So ibutang tag 1 lang, kaya this is summative test. Ibutang ta summative test lang ni siya, kaya para ma-excuse ta. Alright, summative test 1. Alright, then 10 items, attempts allowed 1. Alright, for the rest, pwede ra jud kaayo na siya nga kanang dili na nimo siya gitawag na to nga trabahoon. You can just go ahead and click on save and return to course. So imong gibuhat ginhina quiz, title, description, open date, close date, timing, unya pagkahuman kay katong grade. Right. Pero what you're actually doing here is just the placeholder. This is just a placeholder, meaning wala pa na siya isulod. If you could notice, ingon siya, no questions have been added yet. So as a teacher, you can go ahead and edit the quiz. Edit the quiz. And then from here, be able to add items. No? Maka-add na ka sa mga items sa test. Say for example, sa may mga question. Right. So for you to be able to add a question, you just click on add. By the way, kini shuffle, mao ni siya mo shuffle sa question. Say for example, you have 1 to 10. So, kung ang bata ni take sa exam, pwede nga ang iyang 1 mo na arrangement nimo 1 to 10. Pero ang bata, ang arrangement niya kay 10 to 1. So, meaning ang ilang item number 1, lahi-lahi. Mo na shuffle. So, bisan pa nagtapad na sila, unya kanang lahi nga set nga gi-automatic sa Moodle, then tendency is that masin siya kopya sa answer. That's the purpose of shuffle. Shuffle is to shuffle the number of items, and shuffle is also to scramble the options. So if you have multiple choice, kung naka-shuffle na siya, ang A dapat sa bata nga student A, pwede ang A niya kay mo ay option B sa ikaduha nga bata. Muna yung purpose sa shuffle. So say for example, I need to add a question here. Add new question. By the way, unsa man dining add new question or from a question bank. Kung mo add new question from the name itself, it's a new question. Kung mo from a question bank, meaning it's already stored. So that means to say, kung summative test 2 doon na kay question nga kung sa summative test 1, ang imo i-click kay from question bank. Kaya na-store naman to siya. Pero kung wala pa kayo naka-store, then go ahead and click on new question, and you can go ahead and select the type of questions that you wish to be added. So, ganun kag multiple choice, just go ahead and select multiple choice, and then click on add. All right, and then you can just go ahead and type your question. So, who is the president of the Philippines? Sorry. And then normally, question name, kopyara na siya, padong diri. Kaya nga kung di mo kopyaon, there's a tendency nga maglibog ka, inig-select nimo sa question. Kaya normally, ang mugawas kay question name, kung maingong kagwan ra maglibog ka. Diba? Mao man na siya moral suggestion. Pero ako, di ko maglibog. What I do is kung question name, ko isuot sa akong question text. Para di siya libog inigpili later on. And then you can have a default mark of 1. So on default mark of 1, so if the answer the student answered it correctly, then he has 1 point. Okay, and then it would ask you one or multiple answer. So one answer lang. Kung multiple answer, mo nang select all that applies. So one answer lang. And then number of choices, pwede ingani akong pilion, or pwede no numbering, or pwede og A, B, C, D, so on and so forth. Okay. So I'll give out my choices now. Mungkog Benigno, Aquino, the third. Okay. Rodrigo Duterte. And then we have Donald Trump. Right niya. Pagkaman, none from among the choices. Okay, so di ko mingon og none of the above. Kay there's a possibility nga na-shuffle man, kabantay mo shuffle choices. Nga mingon, what if gini none of the above kay nabutang sa letter A murag lain kay no none of the above niya. Nasa kinababuan. So sunod akong buhaton ani is I'll go ahead and select my answer key. So my answer key is Rodrigo Duterte. So for the grade, I just have to select it as 100%. Di mo ko pwede mo 50% ana niya kay only one answer man. Whereas kung maingon ko og kana multiple answers, so pwede 50% sa Aquino, 50% sa Rodrigo, meaning silang duhang answer. Pero diri kay only one man, so that's the reason why si Rodrigo Duterte lang ako tagang 100%, and then I'll go ahead and save changes. Alright, so that is multiple choice. So I'll go ahead and add another one, a new question bank, and then true or false. So when I click on true or false, you just have to type in the statement, and then you just have to provide whether that statement is true or false. So mingon ko kanang Rodrigo Duterte is from Mindanao. Right. Then I'll go ahead and copy that and paste that here. Default mark. And then what's the answer? Of course, it's true. Okay, from Mindanao. And then go ahead and save changes. So I already have two questions here, no? This one and this one. Mo na nga, ingo ko nga, klaruha kay usay, labi na mo gamay na dili na makita ning ani. So maglisod na kag-specify unsa nga question ang imong gi-add. Mo tong niingo nga, as much as possible, same lang ana sa online text o katong sa body. So next, I'll go ahead and do another kanang type of question. I'll say matching type. Matching type is maura na nga matching type katon hibaw-an. Okay. Instruction, match column A with B. Just copy it and then paste it. Okay. And then the question, diba, sa matching type, kanang tay column A and B. Ibutan tag love. Yung sa may description ni love. A feeling of blah, 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 blah. Nya, sad. A feeling of XXXXX. Nya, ibutang ta, duhara imong multiple choice. So, imo tanaw na kung duha ko multiple choice, ano ko answer daan? Asa man imong distraction. So, for your distraction, so that 2 items, pero daghang option, you can just go ahead and provide your answer here. A feeling of Y. So, unsa may nahitabo diri dapita, there are 2 items only, but the options are 3. So that there is a distraction. So before ko move on sa uban, allow me to show you unsay porma. Preview a question there, who is the President of the Philippines. It shows like this. This one, Rodrigo Duterte is from Mindanao. It shows like this, true or false. Multiple choice is gonna show like this. Define love. So I have the option. No? Tulo ka buok. So there's a distractor. Okay. Kung ikaw mismo nakalimot ka sa answer, you can go ahead and click on fill in correct responses. Yung makita rin na nimo. Kung teacher ka, pero kung student, no way. Okay. Then here, you can go ahead and fill correct responses. There's the answer. All right. So those are just 3 Let's go ahead and add additional questions here. Short answer. Short answer is like identification or fill in the blanks for that matter. Okay, so how do we do it? Just go ahead and click. And then what you can do is unsa man na siya? Blank is a feeling of satisfaction. Okay, kopya there. And then imo specify is case unimportant. Unsa man ang case unimportant? So, say for example, ang imo gibutang diri sa answer kay satisfied. No. So kung ang gi-answer sa estudyante kay capital S, kung imo na siyang yes case must match, meaning sayop na ang bata. Kung iyang gi-answer ba kay nga na bitaw satisfied, nga naman, kaya imo answer keys mo letter man. Mo na nga, it's really important here. So, normally, no, case is unimportant so that even if capital iyang answer tanan, dawaton gihapon. And the same thing, go ahead and put in the grade 100% and then save changes. That is for the fill in the blank. So, here is a feeling. Kabantay mo, ang blank nga akong gibuhat kay ni automatic siya og text box. So, mingon day siya og kanang satisfaction. There. I-type niya dito sa dapita. So, that's gitawag na to nga short answer. Alright. Numerical and short answer are just the same. And then for essay, of course, dili ka kabutang ang answer key, no? Lain po kayo na answer key. And then, the next word, kadyosa. Okay, din ako i-cover ang tanan kay mahura to tong time. Okay. Okay. We have here embedded answers or baniha. Dili ka na. Kaya na kay murag lisod-lisod na siya. Kamo na lang explore di dapita. Drag and drop into text. Muna siya last nga akong i-add. Pero ang essay ani ang kalihira gyud sa essay is that for essay you cannot put in a pre-filled answer. So meaning you would have to read before you can go ahead and give out a rating. Right. So kung you drag and drop text basta may naadri dapita. The good thing about this is that you can have multiple gitawag nimo nga kanang multiple nga blanks. So say for example, SMART stands for there, pila man na sila? For 5. And then copy, paste there. Alright. Though, ang kalahian ani is that so kung ningon ka og kanang short answer, gi-blank nato ni automatic masya ka blank no. Pero diri dapita sa gitawag nato nga close or embedded answer, it's different. We cannot use that here kini nga mga blanks. Instead, what we'll be using are close markers. Close nga CLOZE nga markers. What are those markers? The markers are already found at the bottom. So kini nga marker imong basihan. So say for example, I have this. This is for 1. This is for 2. Ako lang na i-modify later. This is for 3. This is for 4. And this is for 5. Okay. So, may ngodayin ko og kanang unsa man ang SMART. Then i-shuffle ang assignment. Unsa man ang SMART? Unsa man ang SMART? Kalimot ko. Specific na Ginoo ko, nakalimot ako. So specific, measurable. Ano say A? Achievable. Sunod realistic. And then timely. Okay. Timely. All right. So, unsa may mahitabo diri dapita karon when I try to save it, no? Na save changes di dapita, it's there. Ganhina when I click on this one, di ba doon to siya blank usa, no? Pero kini karon when I click on it here, the good thing about this is it's gonna look like this. So, the student can just go ahead and drag. Ibutan ta SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, timely. So drag ra ang estudyante, dili siya mag-type. So that's embedded or close, no, CLOZE nga way of assessment. All right. So if you can notice here, I already have 5 questions. Again, there's still a lot, but I just want you to really explore. Kining drag and drop onto image kay it's good for science. Kabantay mo sa science nga kanang kuan ni mga body parts or ibutang ta system ni pa-identify unsa nga organs. So pwede mura siya ing atong style katong drag and drop text pero dili boxes imong labayan. Markers ibutang tag specific regions o sa ka-picture. Pero kamo na explore ana. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and update the score para tag 2 points na lang sila. Kay the maximum is 10. It doesn't make sense nga 10 niya, tag 1 points lang sila. So, even if the default is 1, you can go ahead and modify the points per item here. Okay? Alright, or pwede, gihimo na ko na siyang 5 kay close man siya. No? Kay para mutunong gihapon. Lagi nag-change niya na usab ang una-una. Okay. There. Okay, and then what I can do is I can go ahead and save. And how does it look like on the student's end? So sa student end, na siya gitawag nga summative test. So I'll click on the summative test. All right. And then I can go ahead and attempt quiz now. So it says 10 minutes. So tanawon sa forma sa attempt. Okay, attempt quiz now. Start attempt. What will happen now is there's a countdown. No? There's a countdown. I have 5 questions. I have 10 minutes to answer 5 questions. So select President Rodrigo Duterte. Next page for the second item. Love is a feeling, blah, blah, blah. Next page. Feeling of satisfaction. Satisfied. Next. This is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and then timely. Next page. And then, Rodrigo Duterte is from Mindanao. True. Finish attempt. Then, doon na siya kuan nga nahuman na ko ang exam in 9 minutes no or 11 seconds and counting. And then kung napa ko nga page, I can return to attempt or I can go ahead and submit all and finish. So unsa may nahitabo ani as a student, I can go ahead and already see wrong akong item number 2, correct akong item number 1, 3, 4 and 5. All right. So makita diri dapita. What if you don't want nga makita sa estudyante ang iyang exam? So, wa yung kay di ba? Pwede man tibok adlaw ba siya. So, kung kinsa nakauna, pwede niya i-leak, no? Pwede niya i-leak nga, hoy, sayo pa akong answer sa kuan. Pwede niyo pangitag saktong answer. So, what you can do is you can just go ahead and go to summative test and then i-click na ng summative test 1 and then edit settings. Okay? And then on the review options, you can go ahead and uncheck para unya ra mo gawas ang answer whether correct or wrong kung ma-close na ang quiz. Kano sa man ma-close ang quiz? Ma-close ang quiz inig ka 11:59 tonight. So ugma pa mo gawas ang indicator whether the answers are right or wrong. All right. So it says here, di ba ganina nakita na ko no? Karon ako nakita attempts allowed 10 minutes, finish, submitted, marks na grade rin nakita pero di ko ka-review. Okay, bawas ako wrong. That's because I blocked it, no? I blocked it using the methodology that I've shown you a while ago. That is edit settings, review options. No? Ako siyang gi-block. So di siya kakita sa iyang result. Pwede po ganun mo i-uncheck. Di siya kakita siyang score. Walay feedback. Walay marks. No? You just have to play around with it. So ganhina, nakita man nimo ang iyang score. So kung ako nang i-save and return to course right now, and if I refresh, wala na ko i-score. Kaya ako mag-hide. Okay. Alright. So this would depend now on the type of summative test that you're doing. If you're just doing a formative test, of course, you allow the students to see the answers already. But if it's a summative, then only show the answer only after the quiz is closed. Okay, so maraging ana. So that's how you do some quiz or you do quizzes in Moodle. Okay, so do we have any questions about how to create quizzes in Moodle or DepED LMS? Was it a nice feature? Nice feature actually, because if you compare that with Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom, ang Google Classroom kay white time. So meaning you can just have the exam open in a duration. Pero kung mo take siya exam, importante imong gi-open alas 8 sa buntag niya, ma-close alas 8 sa gabi ang bata pwede niya i-take ang exam more than 2 hours or even the whole day. Kaya wa man siya automatic submission. But for Moodle, you can set it nga after 10 minutes nga na-open niya ang exam nga ma-submit siya diretso. Yes, sir, Galagar? Kasi yun yung microphone, sir. Every time you talk kay karat lagi mo ko answer. Mas hina yung imong tingog kay sa karat. Can you just type it in, sir, on the chat box? Right. Any other feedback or comments from the other participants? Were you able to follow? Sayo na jud kay no ang murag lisod ato kay katulad yung murag close kay dapat mo follow ka sa iyahang mechanism nga dunay brackets nga duha kada item nga imong gi-consider as blank. But for the rest, sabotable na jud kayo. Right? Do you have any concerns for the quiz resources or quiz assessment tools in DepED LMS? Right. If that is the case that you don't have any questions, then you can just go ahead and kanang try to explore that tonight so that if you have some challenges, then you can raise those challenges tomorrow so that it will be addressed. Okay. And then we will try to do some review of the topic that I just covered a while ago. Kay para kuan kanang ritsod kuan kanang exam na lang, or not exam, but ang atong mabuhat is already the last topic, and then we'll proceed with the presentation. So please continue to work on with your output so that whatever is the new topic tomorrow mo na lang yung i-add. So dapat ang inyong course site dapat as resource ni gamit siya sa upat, no? Pwedeng ibutang ta sa week 1, kuan lang file pag week 2 kay blah 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 hangtod na cover ninyo. Alright? And then you also need to provide or to make use of the 3 types of assessment tools. So dapat makita na siya sa inyong output, final output, para ready na siya for tomorrow. There's a question, can we add a file, sir, for the questions kay Usay Kapoy nag-type? Yes, I'll cover that tomorrow. There's actually a technique. Kung sa mga technique, kuan na siya, nara sa Microsoft Word, bitaw na question sa Microsoft Word, unya, imo na lang i-design imo Microsoft Word, doon na siya murag kanang format nga file. So imo i-type sa Microsoft Word imo mga questions ug imo mga options niya paggahuman kay imo rang i-embed or imo rang i-import sa Moodle, and then Moodle would automatically identify these as questions. So dili na ka maghimo og question, dili na ka mag-type. Kung na kay hinimo daan sa imo Microsoft Word. And I'll cover that tomorrow. Okay, it's already 4:50. Wala na bitaw, Ma'am Deb. Ma'am Debbie. Uy, nilag out na sa Ma'am Debbie, oh. Bitaw, wala na tayo question?
Para ko, sir. Nalubat ko. Nalubat.
Sige, Ma'am Deb. Na-question diha, Ma'am Deb. Kaya basin din ang utana ni mo.
Ha? Wala man rin sila. Ang laswerte ra, sir. Inad, wapa ko no sila magami.
Ay, i-chat lang, ma'am, para akong i-create later, ma'am.
Unaan na ko
Including their
Sir Marlon Alperes, igsoon ni Wew.
Nana, si Sir Alperes, oy, naka-add ako ganhina.
Marlon?
Nakahinumdum ko nga, naka-add na ko.
Nag-add siya. Sige, sir.
Sige. So, if you don't have any questions, again, more to ko i-suggest, no, please continue exploring and then populate your course sites so that tomorrow we'll do some review and I'll teach you how to import your questions in our document to the Moodle so that after that, we'll go ahead and cover the last topic, which is certification. So that after that, we'll select 5 of you to present. Ma'am Deb, ikaw na pili kinsa mo present og ma'am or man mag-raffle draw ta.
Sa high school katong panyo.
Okay. So that mahuman na ta ugma sa half day, no? Atong paningkamutan, mahuman na ito ugma sa half day. Kay usa na lang ka topic and then presentation na. So that you're free in the afternoon.
Okay, sir. Karo maka-confirm tayo mga tag module afternoon. Module, sir.
Sige. Ako dahil po na. Bitaw online na bitaw ko. Kanang katong mga wala pa yung mga accounts or wala pa yung mga access to their schools, please go ahead and type your username as well as your school ID and school name kay para ako na ma-process before nako i-close ang MS Teams. Right. I-chat lang palihog. At this time, I turn you over to to the host, Sir Rehas.
Sir?
Manako, sir.
Okay,
Continue
thank
na
you
laog,
so much, Dr. Fernando Inan, for giving us time on discussing about this topic. So why not give Sir Inad a virtual applause? So daghang salamat gid kayo, sir, sa imong time. So before we end, let us have first our closing prayer. Let us pause for a while and put ourselves in the holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, as we come to the end of our time together, we thank you for what has been accomplished today. Thank you for your knowledge and wisdom that you have given to our speaker, Dr. Fernando Inad. The matters discussed serves as a catalyst to move us forward and cause us to advance and see growth in all areas of our profession. May we live here recognizing you as the God of all wisdom, and you are willing to lead us forward. And this we pray in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.